And hello and welcome to KJC eSports Updraft Week 6. My name is Gen, long time no see, and I'm here with Grammys. We are your shoutcasters for the night. How are you feeling, Graham?
I'm very excited for the games that are to come, actually. We're gonna have four quarterfinal games today, all are best of ones. So far they're on different maps, so I'm really excited for all the interesting plays and what's to come, basically. Yeah.
Yeah, especially that one coming up right now. It's all attack around this team. Has been around for a while now here in Valorant, so we're excited to see what kind of strats they will be picking up for us here in KJC Esports Updraft. We've got a little upgrade from last year's KJC scrims, but of course you can still look for scrims over at our Discord or the new website. Exclamation point Discord to find out more. Don't forget to check out our socials as well: Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Discord, our very own website, TikTok soon to stay updated with the Valorant scene in SEA and more.
And this event is actually co-organized with Cyberport, the go-to creative digital community with a cluster of technology and digital content tenants in Hong Kong. This event is also sponsored by Vertigear, which is the top gamer chair brand trusted by many esports teams. Long hour, no back pain, comfortable chairs for home office and gaming. Get yours now at vertigear.com. That's VERTAGEAR.com.
All right, so thank y'all for that. Let's go ahead and check out some map picks here for our first game. It is Team AAA versus MYM, or Meet Your Makers. We've seen them all. Seen AAA in the KJCI, and we've seen MYM before in the scrims as well. So I'm excited to see how these two teams will clash against each other. Here we are. It is Icebox. What do you think about Icebox, Graham?
Icebox? Okay. I'm gonna be honest, this is my least favorite map. I mean, on A side, you have those really, really tight corners there's tight corners, there's elevations to clear. There's just so many different angles for you to clear here. And on B side, you have those really, really long angles from B main to Snowman. So it's gonna be interesting to see how these teams are gonna be playing and countering each other here.
That is true. Icebox is the lateral map of Valorant. It's not just a left and right look over. You have to look up and down as well whenever you're trying to put your crosshair in place. Although they did update Icebox recently, or a bit of time ago before Fade came in, of course. So they did update the B side, so made it look a lot more straight and less of that diagonal, especially for coming out from the Icebox yellow box as well. Here we go. Icebox coming in, and it's time for some agent picks.
Who do you think we're gonna see?
Oh yeah, definitely. Chamber is a
Chamber?
magical agent that I love to see in Icebox. Ever since Chamber came out, you always want to have his trademark covering up the tubes, which is usually where a sage wall will be standing. But at least with the trademark in play, you could put that wall somewhere else. What about you?
I mean, I think on Icebox, Viper is a must pick on this map. If you're not probably running double controller, because Viper's toxic screen can just cover up so many angles, the elevated angles that you mentioned earlier, again, and it just helps you minimize the number of angles that you have to clear at one time. So it's really a really good pick for this map.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree with you. Viper is a must pick for sure. Normally, we see four must picks every single time here in Icebox. Speaking of must picks, with Fade in the fray, in the agent picking, of course, we won't be seeing her until next week. What do you think about that new agent?
Honestly, her abilities are a bit of a mix between Sky, Sova, and Breach, I believe. So I don't think she is as really useful in terms of utility as Breach, or like in terms of information gathering as Sova. But I think combined with another initiator, she can be really, really strong, especially with her ultimate, which actually deafens you. So paired with maybe a Yoru or an Omen, you could really make some amazing TP plays onto site and stuff when you execute and stuff.
That is true. Fade might just be the game changer to pick up the pace here in Valorant. Anyway, coming into our game now, AAA has finished their agent picks, and guess what? We see zero duelists in play right now for these guys. But we've seen them before. Three of their members used to be Infinity eSports. Of course, they're not them now. It's all attack around here for the game. So I'm excited to see how they use their utilities and abilities to try and interrupt these sites. Of course, they are on the attacker's side. Trademarks already covering their flank, looking like it's going to be the A push, where Meteor Makers are pretty much bundled up on.
Poison orb
Yeah, and
emitting.
a poison orb actually goes towards it to set a probably set a default, and it looks like it's gonna be a hard A push with all 5 members of AAA stacked up towards the A site. But we didn't know that there are actually 3 players on this A site waiting for them.
Great opening with a 0 point, but still the defense is there. They're holding out. Big though, with only 15 HP left, gets another headshot at the Kian. He takes him out. Device is there for the trade away. So now it's a 2 versus 3. Spikes in the middle. Does get picked up by Chromex. So now it's Chromex and Someboy left alone to try and hold them out. You gotta be careful. Shintaro is coming from the flank. Trademarks has been turned off because Chamber died.
Yeah, they gotta be watching this flank here. Shintaro is probably gonna be able to get one with that hit hunter onto Someboy and clean onto Chromex. Well played by Shintaro with cleaning up the round on the flank there. Like you mentioned, the trademarks are super important to care for the flank there, and because Rolex was taken out, the trademarks from their chamber was just gone. There was no one to watch the flank for them.
Yep, that is true. Taken out very early on in the game. So now is a key pick coming out here for Meteor Makers, taking him out. So now all attack around. They're going to have to opt for this full eco. We do see Khan with that Sheriff. We've seen this guy pick up the one taps all the way back in our Invitational. So I'm excited to see if he can try and make some more of that magic happen. But Landis is here with the Marshal in hand. Bolt might just push him out of there.
One down.
Alice actually finds one of the Marshal. From his position, dashes away, able to pick up another onto Khan.
Looking for more
enemy
with a
remaining.
dash as well on the ready. Landis
Strike
just
down,
shutting down
B.
this push one by one. They're picking him up, although it is just the eco round. So this is an expected outcome coming out here for the team. The Meteor Makers just converging all around the place, looking for where Rolex is holding. Rolex will find all the device Spectre, so it's a flawless round for Meteor Makers. Alongside Shintaro as well, with only that Sheriff in hand, so he's going to be able to buy up a very big gun in this next coming up round, in the buy round against All Attack.
Yeah, and it actually looks like Attack All Around aren't able to fully buy, with 3 of their members actually opting for half shields.
Only half of their shields. They were using up a lot of those utilities and abilities very early on, especially with Khan picking up a very early Sheriff buy in that eco round. Hoping to see if they can find some damage in, but unfortunately for them, it was a flawless round. Kian trying to push up here, but he gets backed off because of that recon ball, but that does opt to use up more of their abilities coming out from Fake. Have to use Flash Drive to try and clear up the angle. So now they have to be careful just in case someone might be lurking around.
Yeah, and we actually see Lalis breaking a trademark. That was a mid, so there's no one watching there now. We actually have to commit 1 player on the side of Attack All Around to be able to watch that mid position. And as the Owl Drone goes in, the members of A actually pushing up. Khan actually finds one onto Lalis. Rolex finds another. Rolex able to pick up Kian as well.
Revealing area.
It's now a 5v2 situation for the members of All Around eSports. They should be able to clean this round up pretty easily, as they do have the gun advantage here. But can Shintaro with that Vandal do anything to be able to maybe damage their eco a little bit?
One enemy remaining.
Yorick gets permit suppressed down. It's gonna be all up to Shintaro. They tried their best to look for some sort of damage on this bonus round, but unfortunately for them, Attack All Around takes it flawlessly. They take a flawless round back out from them. They bring them back with their own guns here. And again, trademarks just pretty much basic here on All Attack All Around's team here. They've been always placing it down in the middle and the B side, pretty much shutting down any sort of lurk potential coming out from Meteor Makers. We do see Lawless pick up that operator, although it looks like he will be spotting up here in the middle side. If Somboy's not too careful as he puts down this poison cloud, he will fall off here.
Yeah, actually, Lala is going for the glass cannon play here. Oh! He actually finds one as the poison orb goes up. Somboy, that's Somboy taken out. That's the controller play for Attack All Around.
Drone.
Yeah. And now Kian, he's got full orb as well. They just have to slow him down as much as they can, but Kian gets still flicks up the Rolex.
enemy
Kian is there for the
remaining.
backup, but
Spike
Meteor
down A.
Makers, because the controller fell so early from attack all around, they are just easily able to retake that side and win that round. 3-1 now is on the scoreboard in favor of Meteor Makers. That was such a clutch shot. The big play starting it off there. We talked about it. Somebody had to be careful peeking up here. He was not expecting that operator by very early on because as you've mentioned, it was just a glass cannon.
Yeah, but it does look like they have money for this next round as well. So we're gonna see another rifle round come out from both teams.
Yep, it's going to be the big buy round for both of these teams. It looks like it's going to be very aggressive by Lallis here with this operator. But, oh, he's got to be careful because we know 0 Point comes in here from time to time again. The recon ball as well. Let's see if they can find it. There it is. There's the recon ball. He's going to get scanned down. Actually punch it to 70 HP left. Satori with a good one tap, but the Sombay, though, gives him some cover. Khan's there for the retake. And at the same time, Rolex was able to take out Shintaro as he pushed up on the tube side. Does get spotted by the drone. Resurrect is there to give him some cover for Khan. And now it's a 5 versus 3. But Kian and the rest of Meteor Makers are trying to rotate as fast as they can at this B side. Lattice trying to see what kind of information he's got. Again, the controller is up for attack all around, and that A side's pretty much cleared up.
Yeah, it is, and I would say retaking with this operator on Lallis is pretty difficult, but he does have the Blade Stomp to work with if he so wishes to use it here.
Spike
There we
planted.
go. Spikes planted easily with that wall up as well to give him some cover. Recon's there. Spots where Fake is holding. He does have to back away. They've got plenty of their ultimates on the ready. They just have to be careful where Lallis will be peeking up here. Fake might just peek into his crosshair. But Lallis is trying to go very aggressively here and is the man who tries to tap this spike. They've got some lineups on the side of attack all around, so they will be falling off here. Lallis trying to get some shots in. Here it is. Khan with the big D. Just taking them out one by one. Fake will be able to finish him off as well. No more tailwind available for Lallis, and with that, it's an easy round for attack all around. This is the magic that we've been seeing every single time in the past as well for attack all around. If you give them a free side, it's going to be so difficult to try and retake at all, because remember, these guys aren't playing for the duelist. They're playing for all these abilities.
You know, this reminds me a little bit of, I think G2, they also played a comp like this during VCT once. And also Icebox as well, so it just shows, I think, maybe
You want to play?
on
Let's
Icebox
play.
maybe not as, you know, important of a role,
That is
especially if you can get spiked down.
There it is. Ultimate from Fake. You are powerless. The null simply has been triggered. Just trying to push back Meteor Makers. Kian to see if he can try and stick around here. But he might push his luck. Although he does break up that wall. So it does slow down the spike plant for a little bit. But the spike should be coming down very soon. But the rest of Meteor Makers are here.
Our drone comes out to actually spot out some information. Lala is able to connect his blades onto Chromax here. It's a 4v5 situation for attack all around, but it's still stacked up towards the A side. They do have the opportunity to rotate. Rolex misses that tour de force shot, and gets punished by Lallis.
Someboy getting up from the flank, but there we go. Lattice does
One
not connect his
enemy
blades on
remaining.
right click, but Device is
Spike
there
down
to
A.
keep them alive. Now they have to find
player
where Somboy is
standing.
holding. Ooh, what a shot from him. Trying to see, try to bait with the shot, but Device is stone cold and gets the headshot in. A 3K for him. Once again, they save the day and keep the round open. The shot from Kian there, breaking up that Sage wall very early on, just shut down the strat from attack all around. They just didn't know what else to do.
Here.
Yeah, I think that is where the duelist role does come in like pretty handy at times, because you have the duelist to be able to take space onto site. If you're faced with that kind of situation where you can't get the spike down immediately.
That is true. That's definitely what you want to have. Why you want to have a duelist in play, be it a Reina or so with the long-range Leers. Here comes the tour de force coming up from Shintaro. A very awkward buy coming out from Meteor Makers because they've been losing so many of their members. Despite winning these rounds, they're losing their members way too many times here. Look at this positioning from attack all around. They're all in the tube side. It's just the trademark that's holding them off. what can they do here? Lalis got the judge in play, so if he does close up here, he's passing by Fake with that flash point. He knows that someone is here, puts up the dash. The tailwind's ready for him to pass away. Here it comes, an easy frag here, taking out Fake. He gets the upgrade, and here it's gonna be all up to Sidori to hold down the side creep. But beautiful Viper's Pit here. The Sidori might try and spot the wall, but he doesn't know where the spike's being planted. Bridge is up, and it's now all down to hold.
Still a 4v4 situation. It's actually made that a 5v4 as the resurrection does come out from Kian. Rolex actually able to find 2 onto Kian, and Lalis making that resurrection maybe a little bit of a misinvestment, but it is still... Rolex actually good for 3 now.
Just holding down the Viper's Pit. Oh, Shintaro just sprays right through the Viper's Pit. Zomboy falls. That Viper's Pit down. But still, Chromex, as you mentioned, he's still backed up here. He's been the man holding out the middle for so long, so patient from this man because he's got some shark darts lined up probably to hold out that bridge side. So that's another strike for all you guys who want to try it out in your own teams in your pubs.
Here.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, the economy of the side of media makers have actually been falling. You see them actually buying up some frenzies, the ghost, and the sheriff this round, as the economy is not looking very good. They've been investing so much money in the previous rounds, losing so many members, although they converted a few rounds and lost the last round just now.
Yeah, looking like it was an interesting shot coming out from Meteor Makers. They tried to make the eco burst. Lanis caught off guard. Was not expecting Sambo and Shintaro to be right across the corner. So now they've pretty much split up the defense here for Meteor Makers. 2-2 now. None of the shenanigans that they tried early on because they just got shut down by the push because they thought it's going to be the B push very early on. But pretty cool, nice and easy patient play coming out from attack all around. Sambo does take out Device, but the rest of the team here a little expensive so far, but it's a 2v3. Sheriff and Classic in hand. It's going to be the holdout now for attack all around.
This are actually unable to collect those shots, and he pays the price for that as Sombai takes him out. 3 kills on this round for Sombai now. And Ken cleans up the round with that classic right click. Healing to nerf this gun, honestly.
It's been nerfed to the ground already, but still it's got those very own lucky moments. Khan just coming out of the air, jumping around with that classic, getting an easy frag. It was a very low HP. They've equalized the round 4-4 now, so here comes the timeout for Meteor Makers. They absolutely need this because they have yet to get a read on what attack all around has been trying to do because they've been mixing up their strats every single time.
That is true, and because they can't get a good read onto them, they've spent so many players trying to win rounds, and it's been really ineffective for them, and really expensive as well. So they have to come up with something to be able to stop the side of attack all around, especially since they don't have a duels on this attacking side.
And with that timeout, this is their big buy round, so they want to make sure that they win this round. They stop the momentum that attack all around has been gaining up here as they strike a 2. Let's see if they try and break this pattern and get attack all around on a 3rd round, or will they finally go back to the original where they Meteor Makers gets another one back from the back here, because Device does have the ultimate. Sidori is 1 away for that Viper's Pit as well. They just have to be wary of where Khan, this stage of attack all around, will be spotting, because that resurrection, I've probably seen the resurrection twice already coming out from this same team.
Yeah, and it looks like it's going to be a B push this round as so many members of attack all around are stacked up towards B. Our drone comes out for to clear out the close corners here.
They have to be careful. They know that Lalis loves playing close up, but little do they know it's a mid-strat actually this time around for Meteor Makers. If attack all around does not make their move now, Sidori just has to slow them down because they're about to wrap around each other. Somboy does check the corner. He might spot Lalis here. Here comes the jumping around, but Lalis still gets a shot in. So now they know they're about to get flanked very soon. Is planted up. Fake just take out Sidori, so that's the hold on the B side. So now it's attack all around strat. It's time for them to back away, and let's see what Meteor Makers can do with this retake.
This is a 4v4 situation, and both teams actually have the Hunter Fury ready.
There you have it. Just like you said, it's been used up. Getting a little bit of
Player
information, but
standing.
Chromex Khan and Fakes, just the rest of attack all around, taking them all down. Hunter's Furies has been used up, and now the rest of the ultimates are ready on this next one. So that was a very unfortunate buy round for Meteor Makers. They tried their shot. It was a very interesting and a good start here, getting that early frag on, but attack all around was able to adapt very quickly and get that spike down on the B side. And with that, maybe looks like it's still going to be the eco round. I was expecting maybe a force spike coming from Meteor Makers because they do have some ultimates on the ready here. Lallis has got the Blade Storm, so he's going to be playing with the full armor, and Satori still has the Viper Spit if they want to commit it.
Yeah, but they do have to be careful. Cat still has the Resurrection available for the team.
And Fake has the null command, so if he just inches right close to Lallis, that Blade Storm is going to be proven ineffective. All right, very quiet round so far. Lattice does spot the head of Rolex, and Rolex will try to tap him away, but he will be bashing away here from the tube side. Now Lattice, now Meteor Makers, they've got some information that middle is being pushed up a little. They know, they've seen this strat happen before, so let's see if this Aldrin by device spot anyone at all. But wow, what a hide coming up from attack all around. They have no idea yet where these spots will be. Lallis has been using so many of those Blade Storms. He's running out of knives here. He needs to get a frag with it to try and get the reset. I believe he only has 2 knives or 1 or 2 knives left. Let's see what attack all around will do here, because they've changed their pace. And it looks like there it is. Lattice only has 1 Blade Storm left. And the recon bolt starting here on the A side. Tailwind has been activated for Lattice. Let's see if he can find this frag. This is the man that needs to get one here to make it maybe happen. Maybe win for Meteor Makers. Unfortunately, the Tailwind will be used up. And they've gambled on this A side, where the rest of attack all around are actually not around. There it is.
Wall comes out. The spike is gonna go down pretty safely over here.
Spike planted.
And the rest of the team scaling up to protect the spike planter, and now they fall back to play for the post plant.
Well, you see it all day, every day. This is the post by the AAA has been trying to do. At this point, I'm going to call them AAA, but whew, what a shot from Rolex getting that headshot. Oh, they're just one-tapping them little by little. This looks like it's going to be the round for AAA. This was just their eco round for Meteor Maker's side. Maybe Device can get a frag here. Rolex is holding out the corner, but what a flick. Chromex is on the ready anyway. So 46 now is on the scoreboard. A streak here. A 4-round streak for attack all around. But this next one is going to be the big gun buy round. Let's see if maybe Meteor Makers can still equalize it. 66 for the first half.
Yeah, this is the round that they have to win if they want to be able to equalize this half. And you see, actually, attack all around, they've been reading Meteor Makers so well that just that last round, Meteor Makers stacked 4 players onto B, while Khan was actually waiting towards the... Meteor Makers stacked 4 players towards A, but Khan was actually still waiting towards the B side to make a B push. And they just got the spike down so safely, and once again it looks like it's going to be an A push this round, with Somboy actually lurking up all the way in the kitchen.
And at the same time, Rolex making a lot of noise in the middle. Sidori does spot him, but is unable to stop him in his tracks. Device does take out the Rolex, so that's the middle side being cleared up, but it's still a Somboy. Another one to hold out here. It's going to be closing up here in Device, and Device has the angle to properly hold him out, so Somboy does fall. They do get the spike plant on the side of AAA, so let's see if Meteor Makers can make this retake happen. They've got Lallis walking past because the chamber, again, has fallen. Trademark has been disabled.
Khan is here, ready for the flank though. Unable to find a shot onto Lallis as Lallis takes him out. Chromex, the next one in line. This is the gunfight that he has to win.
Ooh. 1 enemy remaining.
Device actually finds a good shot onto Fake, and it's all up to Chromex, but he cannot make anything happen as Shintaro takes him out with that headshot. And Meteor Makers actually get the defuse off.
Yeah, there you have it. That's the round for Meteor Makers. They only lose 1 member, so that's going to be proven much better for their bank situation coming up in this last round of the first half. Of course, AAA, they've got the gold here. They've got Rolex, so they've got everything in the bag on their bank. They've got all the 9K frags. Looks like they won't be opting for any operators. You know, I was hoping to see maybe 1, but Rolex does have the Tour de Force to play with, just in case if he does opt for it. Last round was a beautiful round for Meteor Makers. Lattice with that flank as well. They just distracted AAA. AAA was unable to respond.
A gift. You want to play? Let's play.
Oh, no.
Tour de Force does this. And actually good for one onto Lalis, who was looking for that early pick, but I'm able to find a shot.
Yeah, that was very...
Triple A actually still have the reservation to work with here. Shintaro does get spotted out by that 0 point. He has to teleport back to safety.
The rendezvous is there. The power of the chamber will be safely away from this yellow side. And again, AAA, they do a bit of make a steps here. So looks like it's going to be the big push here. The Viper's Pit is available. So Taro trying his luck way too much, peeking way too many times. Chromex will shut him down. And with that, Viper's Pit should be up very soon. Sage Wall just to secure the round as well. A 3 versus 5 situation. And Khan still has that resurrection. Fake's going to be spotted very soon. But Khan, Kian, I mean, does get 2 frags before he falls away. Fake again with the better angle of the snowman. Viper's Pit not even used just yet. Device has been spotted. He has been suppressed by the 0 point. He has to look at so many angles for the middle side of the yellow. Might get the flick around, but Somboy will be able to take control of that recoil. 5-7 will be the score for this first half in favor of attack all around.
That's a good spot. That works.
Yep. So there you have it. That's the first half, and a beautiful first half coming out from both of these teams. They're adapting to one another. Remember, this is just a best of 1 for our quarterfinals, so you've got to be careful not to lose too many of these rounds, but just 2 rounds to live off of. Of course, they can easily try and get that to happen, especially since they've got a duelist to play with. Something that AAA didn't have during the attacking round, although they were able to secure a lot of those spike plants, so it made it a lot easier trying to defend the plant.
Shutting them down.
It looks like Major Makers are actually going to go for a default this round, as Lala's actually maybe trying to go for a B push here. Rolex probably gonna do the first fight. Able to take 1 out with that hit hunter. What a clean shot by Rolex.
Beautiful shot indeed. Flashpoint and recompose there! Rolex again! He tried to make more of a push, thinking he was safe at that rendezvous, but little did he know there was too many classics aiming his way. He will fall away, as well as Fake trying to give him some cover. So now it's a 3 versus 4 retake situation for AAA. Let's see if they can try and get back their ground, because Meteor Maker is looking very good on their post-plant position.
And they still have so much utility to work with them. Side of Meteor Maker, Shintaro good for 1 onto Chromax.
1 enemy remaining.
Shintaro getting another one to Can, but Songboy does tap him away. Kian finally shuts him down, so they're slowly inching their way, slowly equalizing the score for Meteor Makers. We've got quite the matchup here for our first game of this quarterfinal. It's going to be the big force buy, of course, for Meteor Makers. We do see some ghosts in play, probably 2 ghosts in play. Whoa! Actually, a Phantom.
That is a big gun.
It's a very big gun, Grammy. Very confident buy coming out from Meteor Makers.
That's a good spot.
It looks like they are actually going to go for the hero rifle here. Kian probably going to pick it up if Shintaro is unable to make it work. It looks like it's going to be an A push here, but Khan is very, very pushed up.
Woohoo!
Gets punished for that as Lalis finds the shot with the Marshall. Shintaro good for another.
What? Another round coming out so far. They're clearly backing away here. Still 3 members left, trying to see what they can find. Kian shuts Fake down. It's going to be all down to some boy now, trying to see what he can find. Of course, Rolex is already from the flank here. Trademarks are in play. He does spot a Vandal lying around in the back, so Rolex might be playing for this exit frag and might even be able to pick up that rifle by the end there. Unfortunately for him, Somboy falls, so he's got to be careful for the middle side now.
Yeah, as you said, Sidori actually coming from mid, while the rest of his team are still pushing up. I think they do want to retrieve this Vandal. It was a very, very heavy investment by the side of Meteor Makers here. Woo! Rolex actually good for 1 onto Kian, but Sidori trades it out. And the side of Meteor Makers actually do get a Vandal.
Yeah, they do save away that Vandal. Very unfortunate to see that Vandal very early on at the backside, the back line of all things. But they will be able to save it up, and they will be able to use it against the bonus round. against AAA. AAA opting to buy so many of their light shields, prioritizing their abilities to try and slow down these pushes. Remember, they've got no duelers to play with, so we're not going to be expecting any sort of aggressive pushes coming out from AAA's defense, unless they've got some strat in hold here, because two of their initiators are holding out here in the middle side. Ooh.
0 point comes out early to put some information. Khan going for this orb, investing the wall into it as well.
He's got the Vandal to play with, so this is going to be very early on to try and slow any sort of push coming out from Meteor Makers. They have to wait out this barrier orb. Of course, it will be falling off very soon, around 10 seconds. Only got one slow orb left for Khan before maybe he tries to get a few shots in before he has to fall away. Launis only's got Sheriff in hand anyway, so it's very curious to see what a play. Here it comes, the barrier orb to try and surprise Khan out, but Khan is able to freely push back out. 10 HP left, he will get the heal up, and now very interesting strat coming out from both these teams, but now they're stuck and they have to break their way back out.
Yeah, they didn't have the barrier orb to work with for that plant there. They were just unable to get a plant down safely, so they have to rotate back off. But Shintaro is already pushed up towards the A side. He has to clear out Rolex from this angle
30
here.
seconds left.
Rolex actually able to get out as Fake actually takes out Shintaro.
Very unfortunate for him. They were trying to flash for his teammate, but at the same time, it's still
Spike
AAA
down
holding down their
One
ground.
enemy
Rolex
remaining.
with a beautiful timing.
I am not
Gets the
pleased with
headshot
this.
onto Sidori and Lalis. Lalis was just reloading that Sheriff. Wait a minute, man. Give me some bullets. There you go. Will be the round for AAA. Only losing, I believe, one member. So Meteor Makers will still be sort of happy with that investment. It was still an awkward, very awkward start for that round as they played with that barrier orb bring up. So they were expecting, they wanted to take out Khan, but unfortunately Khan was too quick on his feet and was able to run off there. But if he just waited a few more seconds, that barrier orb from Khan should have expired anyway.
That is true, and Rolex actually gonna pop the Tour de Force this round.
He will be saving up. He does have full bullets and a shot as well. Take that drone out. So that's 1.5 frags already for him anyway. But I guess one more flick before he falls away. He peeked into 3 people and was able to take one out before he finally fell. So it's going to be a 3v3 still. Fake really pushing up the envelope here with, under that vulnerable Viper's snake bite. But Shockdart could have killed him if he tried to push his luck too much. But looking like he will be falling away. Another snake bite to push out and a slow orb as well. Beautiful ability use from Meteor Makers so far.
Yeah, and it's now a 3v3 situation with Khan actually coming in from the flank. Once again, there is no chamber trademark to work with anymore, so they have to be really careful about this flank here if they do look to rotate. But it looks like they are actually going to be pushing up deeper towards side. Kian preparing this barrier orb here.
Ooh, very dangerous barrier orb, but he runs Fake down with a run and gun Vandal. And he crouches off as well.
30 seconds left.
Fortunately, Khan was hoping that they maybe would rotate
Spike
back, but
planted.
looking like he will be pushing up anyway. But Meteor Makers should be aware of this because they know one agent has been missing all throughout this gunfight. So it's hold for them. Sidori is the one holding the angle, but Khan gets the advantage, outguns him. So now it's all up to Device to hold them down. It's a 1v1 for both of these sides, coming out from the spawn and the backside as well. Looks like Chromix will be converging on each other. Kian rather has a good positioning, takes Chromix out, but Khan does react to him. 31 HP left, Device will shut him down. Khan was not expecting him to come out from behind him.
Yeah, really good positioning by Device there. He was, I don't think Khan was expecting him to play like right beside 410 right there. So Device was actually able to close out the round, bringing it an 8-8 scoreline here.
Equalizing the round here, and it's going to be the equal round for AAA. I've been confused here every single time. I see a Sage, it's probably Khan. Oh wait, no, it's Kian. So we've got Khan with one ultimate orb left, and Kian's got the full orb in the ready. Shintaro not opting to buy anything at all because he got the Tour de Force. Very early 0 point as well, so looking to see if they can find any close-up information to this B side, but the rest of Meteor Makers pushing at the A side instead.
Yeah, actually, Lan is good for one onto Khan, but Fake is actually pushing up from B garage. He has to be careful of this trademark here. The rest of
They
the
found my
team
trap.
for Major Makers are pushing up onto the A side as Shintaro is holding the flank.
Yeah, it's gonna be the plant here. Vulnerable on the side, and the shotgun lineup
down
connects. Keon will fall. That spike has been denied. The ability's in use so far. Sheriff still in hand, and Rolex does have the headhunter. 6 bullets left to play with. Here comes the recon ball. Lattice does take out Tomboy out. No one getting recon out. Rolex gets the information in the corner, and the shot, but Shintaro is holding out from the pipes, so he will be able to take him out. Fatal.
One enemy
Another nice
remaining.
headshot coming out, and Romix as well with a third. What a round! What an eco coming up from AAA.
Those Chromax
It is over.
Chromax Sheriff shots are on point
Ah,
today.
very sexy.
That
Out of
3K
charges.
though. The last 2 shots were just chef's kiss right there.
And that puts up their advantage. We were expecting Meteor Makers to win that round and get the round advantage, but instead AAA was able to turn it upside down. Now it's 8-9 in favor of attack all around. And guess what? Rolex doesn't have the tour de force, but he has the operator to play, while the rest of his team ultimates all in the ready. Viper's Pit maybe will be using this A side, but looks like they will try and find out where the rest of Meteor Makers will be pushing up, because just their eco. Keon does have a Spectre, have shield. He will still be able to buy up the next round, just in case.
Yeah, barrier orb is not gonna come out from the side of AAA. As Khan holds this angle onto towards rafters.
It's Khan and Keon just
Oh.
watching each other across the wall. Very quiet round at the moment. 8-9 is this final scoreboard. We do see Bladestorm on the ready for Lallis, making a lot of noise here. Have been jumping around. Khan and Somboy has been hearing this, but they're pretty much stone cold, holding out their ground. No, this 0 point. That's gonna take out Lallis for 5 seconds. He's got to wait it out. Recon ball's there as well. What a unfortunate timing for them. They wanted Lattice to push up, but with the Bladestorm been deactivated, the recon bot has been used now. They have to opt to try to force this out jump, but what an ultimate, what a null command. Meteor Maker's just unable to push up the site at all.
30 seconds left.
And then Nalcoman completely denied the opportunity for Lallis to push up onto side, but it looks like Meteor Makers are going to go for a B push as Rolex holds this angle with an operator, able to find one onto Shintaro. Bladestorm's unable to find anything at all, but the spike plant does go down pretty safely here.
Spike planted.
Levi's got another recon ball in play. He will be able to spot him. The recon ball's there and does spot the members holding out the snowman. Let's see what Lattice can find. Oh, Sidori, unfortunately,
One
being
enemy
gunned down, and
remaining.
they check the corner as well for Somboy. The Lattice falls. It's gonna be a cleanup so far. Device does get one more before it falls away, but that's at least one member out. A little bit of damage. The operator as well, but the operator should be saved up here. There we go. Chromex gets it, and we'll get the defuse very soon. 8-10 will be the score for the second half. Still in favor of AAA. But this next round might be where things go around. This is the make it or break it round, because this is where Meteor Makers will be able to get that gun buy round, hopefully.
Timeout coming out once again for Meteor Makers. They have to be able, as you mentioned, this is the big gun round. They have to win this round to be able to tie up the scoreline here, and they have to be able to find a way through the defense of AAA.
And with this timeout, this is a very important timeout for the side of Meteor Makers, because remember, this is a best of 1 and we are neck and neck with each other right now. Keon and Sidori does have the Viper's Pit, so if they could just get Sidori in position onto one of these sites, he will be able to pop that off, but it's just going to be very iffy on the entry, because remember, Chromex, he's got the Hunter's Fury, he's got all the AAA has got all the utility to try and shut down any sort of plant. So Meteor Makers, they've got to find these picks and these frags to try and close out and choke the rest of AAA from their ability usage. Five seconds left before the next round starts. The timeout has been finished, so here we go. round has started. Again, looking like a default for AAA. They are feeling very confident here. Of course, Rolex with this operator will be pushing up very close up in his B side. 0 points, gonna spot one, and that's Lales. So now they know there's at least one here. Close up, pushing up this green side. Khan is the one who actually starts off the round, taking Shintaro out. That's not the start you want to have if you're feature makers. The drone is here. Rolex decide to get spotted anyway. Try to see if he can get the frag in before Rendezvous is out, but actually gets a nice dink there. Thanks to the side of Lales. There we go.
Yeah, it's a 4v5 situation for the side of Major Makers here. It looks like it's going to be an A push. I think they want to get Satori to be able to plant down and pop that Viper's Pit, but Khan is ready for this. Barrier Orb does go down. He's holding this angle here. Somboy ready for this defensive
You
Viper.
will not kill
Viper's
my
Pit.
ally.
And Resurrection does come out from Kian onto Shintaro. Woo! Hunter Suri tries to deny that, but I don't even do much damage. It's still a 4v5 situation.
Still 4v5. Viper Spit available from both of these teams. Very nice try coming from AAA.
30
They
seconds
knew
left.
where the frag was. They were pinging it for him to get that 100 free. Just get the Resurrection comes in. What a shock dart lineup coming out from Chromex there. Pushing through down to low HP. Rolex is the one who shuts him down as well. Khan trying to Device trying to see what he can find, but Khan and Somboy just
Spike down
shutting
A.
them down. This is a heartbreaker for Kian
10
right now.
seconds
Left
left.
alone, 8 to 10 seconds left. Being pushed up. He tries to see if he can find one more damage in, but unfortunately for him, it's going to be the 4K for Khan. Khan, the man is on fire, pushing up against the gun round, and now this is the break-it. They tried to go for the make it or break it round. Unfortunately for them, they lost it. Now they have to force it or play the long game eco. Looking like they will be forcing a little bit, putting up that half buy, at least enough to buy up the next round just in case. Or if ever they win it anyway, they will still be able to buy up. Marshals and Sheriffs across the board for Meteor Makers, not the kind of weapons you want to have on the attacking side.
Teleport's ready.
Yeah, it looks like it's gonna be a mid hit this round, but Rolex able to shut it down immediately with that operator onto Lales.
They tag each other. If Lales just had an operator to play with, he would have won that duel because he got the shot off first. But
I have
still,
the spike.
again, on the other side, this time around from the A, the other Marshal was trying to find more damage, Shintaro, but unfortunately for him, it was Khan, the big man, who was holding the angle on this A side. So that clears it up. Still a 3 versus 5 for both of these teams.
Out of
Heal
charges.
is still available for Khan just in case if he wants to heal up Mr. Rolex, because Rolex is kind of low on HP after getting that Marshal in the face, or in the body, rather.
And I'm gonna look to getting the spike down. Fake does have the 0 point available to stop any kind of safe party here. He's gonna go for the repeat though.
Few shots in play. Snake bites right now as well. Here comes a recon bolt on the side of Meteor Makers, trying to spot any of the members here for AAA. AAA does not get spotted at all. The spray downs are coming in.
30
The
seconds
advantage,
left.
the automatic weaponry that they've got. Khan is shooting right above Keon there. Keon might spot in the head. He's playing very close up at his side. He tries to go for the wall instead, but it looks like it's going to be a very hard round for Meteor
One
Makers.
enemy
Songboy
remains.
and Khan just taking them out. Keon does get
down
2,
B.
but that's
Do not
all
fight.
he's going to get. Khan with a triple kill for that round. 12 now, match point for
Match
attack
point.
all around.
Yeah, unfortunately they were unable to retrieve the operator, but Rolex does have enough money to buy up another operator, and he does have that tour de force if he so wishes to use it as well. Sidori still has the Viper's Pit to work with here on the
Here.
attacking side. They have to make something work. This is their last round, or they will be
Deep threat.
eliminated from this
Right.
competition.
Right
Yeah,
here.
only one round is all attack all around.
Deploying drone.
Rolex as well, very close up. Look at this. Look at the confidence coming out. 3 agents have been
found my
suppressed
trap.
from attack all around. They know it's going to be a B push. They're committing all their ultimates. They feel it. They are feeling themselves right now. They want to end this round right here and now. Here comes the push up by Lattice, but Rolex looks across the sky. Rendezvous is out, so all the way to safety already. A man disadvantage. They do not have the resurrect on the ready. Still 3 left for Kian to try and get the ultimate orb. Ow, look at this position for Fake. They're not checking the yellow. And with that, the scan as well to Sadori. Fake is just coming out from behind, going big with a 4K. And shuts down the push for Meteor Makers. Congratulations to attack all around. They are the first team to enter the semifinals. Still a very nice try for Meteor Makers though.
Yeah, it was really well played from both teams, but Triple A they just performed better. They just came out on top this game. They were not afraid to take space during their defensive half. You see Khan constantly pushing up towards A main to gain some space and gain some information as well. Able to find a few picks here and there as well with those 3 first bloods. Rolex actually popping off with 6 first bloods, but Lalis as well performing well as his role on a duelist.
Yeah, they tried their best. It was a very nice try for Beacher Makers. They were really pushing up the envelope there. They were adapting very quickly, very hard to try and get where AAA is trying to do. But AAA attack all around were just so many strats coming out from the strat book. They were unable to get the read. So Meteor Makers, unfortunately for them, it was still a nice try, but attack all around will be advancing to the semifinals. This is still the quarterfinals. This is still day 1 of KJC Updraft Week 6. So we've got 3 more games to play after this break. All right, welcome back, one and all. Good evening to all of you, or morning, afternoon, wherever you are in the whichever country. KJC Esports Updraft now, game two of our quarterfinals. We've got Liberty versus Fear Eater Esports. So looking forward between these two teams. New teams we haven't heard of them before, but Liberty is coming from Cambodia, so a market we don't see every day. So I'm excited coming up this next map. My name's Gen, and I'm here shotcasting with Guremi.
Yeah, I'm super excited to see what both these teams have to bring to the table here. Fear Eater Esports is actually from Indonesia, I believe, and Liberty, as you mentioned, is from Cambodia. And I barely see anyone from Cambodia in like pro play. So this is really a first time thing for me. So I'm really excited to see what they can show us today.
Yeah, already starting it off, little ones. We hope to see a lot coming up from Cambodia, but no pressure, guys. I believe in you. Whether or not whatever happens, the map is going to be on Ascent. Before we head over there, this is our updraft, and because it's already our second game, we've been sitting here for a while now. We'd like to thank our official gaming chair sponsor. If you're going to sit down the whole day anyway, might as well get yourself a comfy, high density foam coffee ground fiber with smooth, soft glide casters, comfort design, Vertigear. So here comes the map picks. Here, because Ascent will be our map this time around. Last time we played an Icebox, very classic map for pro plays. This time around, it's going to be on Ascent. So it will be on the attacking side. It will be Liberty in play. What kind of agents do you like to see in Ascent, Grammy?
Um, I think a KO would be pretty fun to see. KO, I do believe that KO is pretty strong on this map, especially if you're trying to shut down like a Killjoy or Chambers utilities to hold that mid position, because on a set the mid control is super important. If you have mid control, you can you have that has a lot of map control for you. It's such a long angle, and but by just having that control, you can already push up towards the market, you can push up towards A, you can push up towards B. There's a lot of things you can do if you have that initial mid control there. And that's
Yep.
why like some people they play chamber on defense. I mean, they play a chamber or they play a killjoy. They put their alarm bot in mid to stop anyone from coming from them. But yeah, if you have that mid control, it is really good for your team.
Yeah, mid control is the play of the game when it comes to the map Ascent. And as you've said it, KO, very good player to play when you're on the attacking side, is the bane of Chamber and even Jet to try and slow down the rest of their utilities. Because once that null command comes out, and here we go, coming into the agent's picks, we know Daisy from Fear Eater already picking up that KO. So in case there is a Jet or a Chamber on the side of attacking side, or even just a Killjoy, it will be very hard, much harder to try and make any sort of push or whatever defense is happening on the side, because once those utilities are turned off, what can you do?
Yeah, that is true. And we are gonna see the killjoy pick come up from Ploy on the side of Liberty here. And actually, both teams are seem to be hovering over Omen Kafka with his counterpart Darwin here, hovering over the Omen as, I mean, Omen and Brim, the controllers recently got a buff. We used to see a lot of Astra and Ascent, but now I think the meta is shifting towards maybe more of an Omen on Ascent now.
Yeah, almost seeing. I guess we are going to see a mirror matchup for this play. This is Team Indonesia versus Team Cambodia. If you are to try and represent them, mirror matchup, mirror composition. So I'm excited to see,
Choose your
unless
agent.
Darwin does opt for a different controller, but it looks like it will be the Omen in play. So very classic strat to play the Omen on this Ascent side. Always see that paranoia to try and start things up as their Jet tailwinds in very aggressively. Of course, Jet has gotten some few tweaks and changes there with that tailwind. You gotta press it twice if you want a quick dash in. Otherwise, you have to predict whether or not you got to use it. So this is actually pretty good if you are on a professional team trying to pick up some sort of strat to push up here. So you'd know you'd want to use that tailwind anyway.
Yeah, as you mentioned, the tailwind and is really good for taking space onto site, especially when combined with maybe a paranoia from an omen. It's a lot of suppressing power for your team. It just blinds the opponents, and your jet can just dash up towards side to take that space, and at the same time the rest of your team can actually push up to be able to isolate that one gunfight on the paranoia the person affected by that paranoia.
Yeah, it's a double initiator play for both of these teams. Flashes all around. We're going to see a lot of white screens here, possibly, as this game starts up here. 10 seconds left. It's going to be the pistol round for both these teams. Kuzu does have the shorty in play. I'm excited to see what kind of damage he can find. Of course, he will be holding this A side, and it looks like it's going to be the A side attack for Liberty.
5 men stacked up towards the A side. Counter 0 point does come out, and it actually finds 2. They know that the side of Liberty Esports is actually looking towards this A hit here. As the recombo does come out, Kafka will be the first one to take contact. Able to find the pick onto Liang, but gets straight out by Ploy here.
Oh!
Kuzu actually finds
Strike
2 with the
down
shorty.
A. One enemy remaining.
And a beautiful defense comes in here for Fear Eater. What a play. They played around that dark cover so well. First, it was Kafka with only the Frenzy to play with. So unfortunately for him, the Frenzy does run out of bullets very fast. That Stapler only has 12 rounds to play with on an automatic weapon. There's not enough bullets he'd want to have. So he was only able to take out 1, but Kuzu tried to push up that dark cover, but he got blocked by the opposing team, so he just shot that weapon right into their heads. And now he's got a judge in play. Looking like Liberty will just be opting for the full eco. So let's see what they can find.
Sheriff on Scooter actually. Maybe he can make something happen with that pistol of his.
Here.
But it looks like it's gonna be a hard A push once again from the side of Liberty. As they're stacked up towards this A main position, Kuzu once again waiting with a shotgun. This time around, it's the judge, an upgraded version of the shorty here.
Yeah, making a lot of steps coming out from Liberty. They do have the dash to play with, but again, these guys are stacked up. Fear the Eater, they know what they're doing, and they're even getting Amar Nunn trying push up, find some information, but unfortunately for him, he falls away, and that is a free upgrade for Ploy. Well, not really much of an upgrade because it was only the headhunter in play. Never mind. But here we go. Now they're scatting around, trying to see what they can find. Looking like Fear the Eater, a little bit afraid of this eco round. They will be stacking 2 members each on the site.
Yeah, and then as the flash comes in, it looks like it's gonna be a B push as Ploy pushes up
30 seconds
towards
left.
stairs already. Sentinel actually able to find 1 with that Spectre. And the push is immediately slowed with the field
One
molly there.
enemy remaining.
Kafka able to find 2 as
Spike
Sentinel
down
finds
B.
1 more, and Dazzy actually able to close out the round with a ghost. Once again, it was just it was a buy round from the side of Fear Eater, so not too much to see here, but rifles are gonna be coming out from the side of Liberty this round.
I'm so excited to see what they can do here. This is Fear the Eater's bonus round, and they've got 2 judges to play with, not to mention that's Daisy and Kuzu. It was a nice read coming out from Liberty to back away from the A side. They felt it that they could not push up the A side. If they did, they would have been ramsacked by the judge. But here we go. Looks like they'll be playing much more of a default this time around. Dazzy getting suppressed, and now they know the KO is in play in the A short.
Yeah, Abaddon once again pushing up this B position with his headhunter by Ploy. He's waiting for this push. He knows that Abaddon wants to push this because he did that last round. And Dazzy waiting here. The judge gets checked by Spooter. Able to find 1. Ploy able to find 1 as well, but Kuzu takes 1 out of the judge as Darwin trades him out. It's now a 4v2 situation. Kafka on site. Will he be able to deny his plan? He is unable to deny his plan as Bond takes him out. 1v4 situation for Sendel. Comes with the Spectre. Unable to find anything else as Bond cleans up the round. They only lose 1 gun this round, so I think that's pretty good for them. That's what they were looking for this round.
Yeah, very good for them, of course. And the ultimates are starting to build up on both these sides. But looking like this next round will be the big gun round for both of these teams. This is the one that will set the pace for both of them. Set who takes that momentum, because after this round, ultimates will be on the ready. But Will the guns be also on the ready for both of these teams? Time to find out. They had the double judge setup on this A side last time, and it didn't work out because Liberty was able to play around it. Let's see what they can do this time.
Revealing area.
0 point comes out to clear that coast corner, but no one is playing that this time. Kafka playing around his generator position, ready with the paranoia. Abaddon actually finds a pick onto Ploy towards the B main position.
Cover going
Looks
out.
like it's gonna be an
Very
A push. Darwin actually able to equalize the numbers, making a 4v3 situation for the side of Liberty and eSports as they push up onto the side. Liang able to find one more onto Kafka. Alto comes out to text to obtain some information, but Spike is gonna get planted pretty safely here, I believe. Shockdown does come out to chip away some damage, but unable to find anything much. It's 2v4 situation for the side of Fear Esports. Would he be able to do anything with
Standing
these
ahead.
Vandals that they have?
Vandal is Vandal, but look at the amount of sprays that Liberty has been doing. Abaddon getting a little bit tagged down at the same time. Scooter does find a take out Sandil. Abaddon gets a nice shot into Spooter's head though, so that trades him away, and he's got the ultimate to play, but that spike has been ticking way too long. There's the ultimate to find any shot, any kind of damage you can find, but again, Liberty gets the shot and Abaddon falls with 1 HP left to spare as well. So now they've built up their bank, and Fear the Eater is on the backside.
Yeah, ultimates are actually available this round. Abaddon with that tour de force, I think he's gonna look to play that with this round with his full shields. And on the side of Liberty Esports, they do have the lockdown to play with for this round to be able to take the site.
Yeah, so normally you'd want to have a breach or something to try and take out that lockdown, but they've only got Sova, and none of these Sovas have anything ready. And whoa, what a start coming up for Scooter to take out Kuzian as well. Boy, just easily taking them down, shutting down the push coming up on Fear the Eater. Paranoia is there. Daisy get away to safety here. He's still got some of the utilities with, trying to see if he can find anything before the door closes, but it will be falling away. 69 HP left, and it looks like it's going to be the round
Spike
for Liberty
plant.
unless Fear the Eater just pulls a rabbit out of the hat here.
One actually
enemy
finds
remaining.
2 onto Abaddon and Sende when it's down to a 1v4 situation for Daisy, but he's unable to find anything as Ploy cleans up the round, bringing the scoreline to a 3v2 in favor of Liberty.
Yeah, it was a very tall order for him to try and make it happen. It was just their eco round, not to mention, unfortunately, Amber was unable to get any value out of his tour de force. He was hoping maybe someone would be pushing up his B side. He was able to take out the lurk control ploy last time around, but this time they're playing much tighter with each other on the Liberty's team side. Looking like it's going to be a spread out this time. Again, Fear the Eater still playing their default.
Abaddon unable to break that knife though. Does get affected by it. But actually still finds the shot onto Ploy as Liang trades him out as Abaddon unable to trademark away to runnable away to safety. 4v4 situation for both teams here.
A lot of things happening this middle side. Tailwind's gonna have to be expounded to try and get out of that corner because this A-short is being pushed up way too close. Bond has an Aljo and Hunter's Fury just in case he wants to push up this A-short side, but still, 2 members holding out this A side. They've put up a lot of members for Free to Eater on this A side. They know this is their default. And here we go, low command being used here on the B side. No one is here anyway. Sendil is close up on the market side, but he will be closed off very soon. Spot Spooter's head, and he will be able to take him out. He does get scanned down by the recon ball, but he will be able to safely back off as that market door closes. It's going to be the plant here for Liberty, but it's a 2 versus 4. But Bond does put it down to a 2 versus 3 as he gets a nice shot into Sendil. Very close up here. 0 point will be able to spot both of these members. There it is, and now they have to play the drive peaks, but Liang does get the first drive win. Kafka trading him out. It's all down to one.
One enemy remaining.
Not even looking in the right direction, unfortunately, but now he knows where he is. He's able to play for the Hunter's Fury. Hunter's Fury does get popped, but Kuzu waiting for the repeat by Bond here. Hunter Fury gets used up. Bond has to make a move right here. Able to get the wall bang with the help of their recombo there. Cleans up the round for his team, and Liberty take the round.
Takes another round out of Fear the Eater. He's got all the time. He's got every ability on the ready there. So it was just way too hard for Fear the Eater to try and shut it down at all. So well played for Liberty, winning that 2 versus 4 situation after getting that spike down. So now Fear the Eater, they will be opting for this half buy. Sheriffs and light armors on the light shields to play with this next round, round 7, if my math is not correct. Or right, wrong.
Yeah, you're fine, you're fine. You're good. Everyone actually finds a really clean shot with that headhunter onto Spooder, and that shuts down Liberty's initial entry. As the members on Liberty scale onto site, they are probably gonna get the spike down pretty safely. Our drone does come out for some information once again.
Bond just hiding away from this out drone again.
Spike
Bit of a nerf
planted.
come out from Sova. Only 2 tags left. No command being used. They want to play for this game. Despite only having the ecos and the sheriff to play with, they're still playing the rounds. But Bond and Dowans holding the angles. Unfortunately for them, Fear Eater eSports won't be able to get any value out of that null command. Very interesting play there. A little scary, but Liberty able to be stone cold and hold their ground. Looking like they are very happy right now on their first half. 5 rounds straight.
Yeah, it was. I think they popped the null command because they did have that numbers advantage. I think they thought they were able to get the frags, the trades out, but unfortunately for the side of Fear Eater, they were unable to find anything that round. As next round starts, it looks like it's gonna be a push once again. But 0 Point does come out to spot some of these players here.
Yeah, Amber again pushed up close up in this B main side with the operator in play this time around, but Liberty is nowhere near that area. You still has the lockdown in play, and there you have it, activated. But the Hunter Sphere this time around by Sentinel has it available, so he will hopefully be able to take. He's unable to take out this lockdown. It's gonna be very awkward for them, but still, Fear the Eater was able to hold out. They were confident that Hunter Sphere will take out the lockdown, so they held their ground, and apparently Liberty was not ready for it. They were expecting them to back away, so still, it kind of worked out in their favor. But let's see what they can do here. Again, it's 2 versus 4 situation, and they're slowly putting it down to 2 versus 1. But woohoo! Daisy with a nice 1-tap on the bomb. Bomb was red on the HP there. What a crazy round.
I'm so confused. How did the Hunter Sphere miss the lockdown?
Yeah, apparently the ping kind of just maybe missed its mark there. But it was
another round on the board for the side of Fear Eater. It looks like there's an operator coming out on Emmer here.
So Amber still holding on to that operator, still very comfortable with it as well. Liberty, what a crazy round that round was, right, Grammy? Still, they had the lockdown to play with, but Fear Eaters were confident that Hunter Sphere would take it down, so they held their ground, and because they held their ground, Liberty was not prepared for it. They were not ready for 2 players holding very close up, despite gonna be disarmed by that lockdown. Still worked out into their favor, but still very awkward, crazy round. So the bank's still there for both of these teams, and Creators, again, as you mentioned, the operator is in play, and Spooder with 7k in the back. He has the Blade Storm on the ready as well. Liberty is sitting on gold right now. They can survive up to probably 3 more rounds here, even if they lose all 3.
Yeah, and Liang actually won away from the null command here. Good look to put contest for the orb this round to be able to secure site for his team.
That's a good point to take, especially since Ploy is the man who's usually holding out the lurk, where Amber has been playing 1v1 with him every single time, although Ploy has started to back off from him. Let's see if they can finally take control of this B main side, give Liang that ultimate orb and the null command.
And it looks like Abaddon is going to be playing towards this mid position this round.
Yep, that's the operator for you. We'll be holding down that mid. You'd want them to contest that middle side to take control, make sure that they don't take it out of their hands. But anyway, looking like Spooter does maybe not Spooter, I'm sorry, Kuzu maybe would want to have that operator out of Amber's hands, but no, it's fine. Amber's got the operator. Kuzu, you can hold on to that Vandal. Well, the rest just hold on to those light shields. A little bit of technical pause right now as we try and fix things up, and we will be back onto this game very soon. In the meantime, you've got me and Grammy.
We talk a little bit about Fade. I'm really excited for Fade, actually. I mean, I'm really excited to see her in like pro play. I haven't tried her in game actually, so
Yeah, I've yet to unlock her as well. But again, we did see with that Sova nerf as well. I'm assuming this is to balance things out, to get Fade more out of there, because a lot of people are saying like Fade's just a minor Sova, right? But with that Sova nerf, this should balance things out, and maybe we could see Fade in play as well. But who says you can't use both of them at once, right?
yeah. I do think Fade will be really strong when combined with another initiator, because her abilities are kind of like a bit of a mix between a Breach and a Sova. So she doesn't have the information gathering abilities of a Sova, and neither does she have the stalling power of a Breach, or on the on the attacking side, the ability to clear out those close corners. But if played correctly, I do think she can just be a menace against any team, especially when combined with another initiator.
That is true. Although, despite being an initiator herself, she has some Sentinel kit in there with that, what's that, root right in the middle. So that's something to slow down any of these pushes. So, initiator, very powerful for Fade. Anyway, round starting up here, and it's Amber holding on this operator close to the middle side, and the peek comes up for Bond.
not ready.
A little too much of that shoulder was peeked out there. He kind of used both of his shoulders to peek out, and that will cost him his life. Kuzu is here, close up to the middle side. Floyd might walk right into him. He does, but the shot does not connect for Kuzu. Floyd gets the reaction in, and he will be able to equalize the round 4 versus 4. There are no Sage or Skies to give any of these members a regrowth or heal or resurrection at all, so they're playing dry.
Yeah, that is true. And Liberty, they have somewhat full control of mid right now. With that, with the trademark, they have to clear out this trademark here in market.
Shutting them down.
There you have it. Pizza trademark down, and delivery will be stalled as the rest of the members of Liberty try to push up this middle side. You talked about it earlier. You love to see the mid control come out from the team, from the attackers here, but let's see if Amber might spot a member smothering the man holding the angle, and Amber will walk right into his crosshair. That's the counter operator being used to efficiency. So now
30
they have to
seconds
scatter
left.
around for Fear the Eater. 30 seconds left. They are confused. Where is Liberty going?
All the shadows actually gets popped by both teams. Sendo actually would find the first pick onto Liang, immediately stalling this push. But Liberty
player
eSports
standing.
still pushing strong towards the
Spike
side.
down B.
Dazzy and Sendo find one, but Spooder able to make it a 1v2 situation. There's just
player
not enough
standing.
time for him to get a spike down anymore. And with that, Fear Eater are just able to take the round and the operator away from the hands of Liberty. Actually, no, both teams still retrieve their operators. So it's not gonna be that big of a loss in terms of economy for them.
Yes, and Fear Eaters, they're starting to build up their economy because that's now 2 rounds on the streak. Although Kafka has only got the Bulldog because they're losing way too many members on these pushes. Liberty played very well on the attack there, but they played a little too slow, and Fear Eaters were able to capitalize on that. Because if you play too slow, that timer is going to start pressuring you out, and Fear Eaters know this. They will eat your fear out. And here we go, another quick round looking like more mid-control for the team here. But Kuzu is the man who takes Boy out. Scooter tries to see if he can get the retake, the refrag in, but they will be able to fly off. Tailwind away, power of the jet, and now it's a reset, 4 versus 5.
Yeah, it looks like they're trying to contest for mid control once again here. With that operator holding down Desi's position. A little bit dangerous there. Now Command does get popped by Liang. Take this guarded position.
Pushing up very close up here. Play from there, but that he takes him out with that phantom power as well as AI. But whoa, the convergence from Fear Eater. Every single member was ready for Liberty to just collapse onto this A side. So Liberty, Fear Eaters rather, are starting to get a nice read onto how Liberty plays here. Liberty has been stacking so many of their members every single time. They are blitzkrieging their way into these sides, and Fear Eaters have started to get that read and slow them down, equalizing the round 5-5 now. The bank is still there. As I've mentioned, right, Liberty, they can fight up to 3 rounds. This is their 3rd round. After this one, they are going to be very iffy on the buy if they lose this one.
Yeah, that is true. And you mentioned once again, they are stacked up towards A for this round. And I believe 0 Point gonna able to spot out maybe one player on the side of Liberty.
Only Ploy, and that's the traps down. Alarm bot again. It's holding behind them, so we know that these guys want to push up this A side, but can they push this up? We know Fear Eater has been playing this default. They've always had 3 members on the right now this A side, and because Amber always gets so much control on this B side, they put Sentinel close up on this A as well. Here comes in. Spotter does get the nice frag of the Kuzu, and not trying to get Daisy out. Kafka's there to finally take Ploy out, but Spotter is the man who opens things up, and that clears the way here for this A side. Sentinel gets spotted out. That he won't be able to use his recon ball just yet. Amron is finally here to give him some cover, but it's the operator in hand. He does have 8 bullets on his headhunter just in case he wants to play close up here, but all 4 members are still alive on the side of Liberty.
Die.
Sanduf able to find the first
player
frag,
standing.
but
Oh.
Scooter
Oh.
actually finds the head of Sandu. In return, Bond cleans up the round on Amron.
Last round in the half.
Scooter was feeling himself there. He wanted to grab that ace, but Bob will easily tap that head off. So Amron will just be playing a Spectre in this last round. He does have Tour de Force to play with anyway, so looking like the default was there. Fear Eaters, I'm so sorry. They love playing that default, and looks like they will still be playing it because sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Liberty, they're just adapting against each other. 5-6 is the score. Will they be able to equalize it, or are we going to see another 7-5 first half?
Yusu actually, once again, this is kind of reminiscent of the first or second round here. If the judgment is close position. But 0 Point actually going to come out and spot Amanon here on his B main position. So going to be a mid push once again.
Because of that 0 point from Liberty used very early on this B side, they actually forced rotation from Kuzu with that Judge, a Judge player, not to mention is the one being forced to rotate, and he's now going to peek up this middle side, looking like he will be holding out the pizza side. Trademark's going to be there to spot anyway. Ooh, Ploy hears that jump peek, and looking like he will try and spot, so they know there's one member at least right there. Again, Liberty is playing the slow game. 1 minute left on the clock, thinking like they try to push things up here. Aldone was not able to spot. Guess what? Kafka holding down the angle, but Dark Cover should have hurt him, but no! Bond does not spot him. Kafka will get a free frag in. Here comes an ult command from the side of Fear. I mean, from the side of Liberty. So if he gets anything out of this, I mean,
Spike
Daisy.
down A.
I need a reset.
1 enemy remaining.
And that is the flawless round coming out for Fear
Switching
Eater.
sides.
6-6 will be the round to close things off for the first half. Another neck and neck game between these 2 teams. Fear Eater, they've gone the read on that defense. They're able to hold them off even with the null command. Just shuts down the abilities of Liberty. Liberty could not do anything to try and flash their way in. They had to dry peek them and on a very awkward positioning on that A short side, and with that equalizing the round. 66 gonna be the big reset now. Pistol round again for the second half. Again, this is KJC Updraft, Fear Eater eSports versus Liberty. I'm excited to see how the second half will come out.
Yeah, as we head into the second pistol round of this game,
Revealing area.
it looks like it's gonna be a default from the side of Fear Esports in contrast to how Liberty played just now.
Ooh, try to play aggressively. Kuzu with the frenzy was able to walk close enough and make it so effective to take him out. Aljon's there to give some information as well for your eaters. Looking like they are using a lot of their utilities abilities very early on, but they're not following up on any of them. So Liberty will be happy to take that, and they will be playing very backed off here. Looking like it's going to be the ace split for them. Killjoy is holding out here, so let's see if Ploy can find any of these members.
While still holding out the side, right flick does come out, but I would tag up anyone actually as Dazzy takes it out with that head tap. Liang able to trade it out onto Captab. Avalon finds up the Headhunter. It's down to a 2v4 situation for the side of Liberty. Shot that does come out to chip away some damage, but nothing much really.
Yeah, good timing of the shot guard, but Ampinel has
player
the round
standing.
ready, and they've pretty much just sandwiched them out. So Liberty will fall, and it's going to be the round for Fear Eaters on this pistol half. So they're going to be very comfortable there, especially since they're on the attacking side on Ascent. So Liberty, they've got to pick up their game. Looking like they will be on the eco round this next one, saving up for this. Of course, the usual, you know, the... what do you call that?
And
No,
as we
Faisal.
head into this next round, it looks like Swooter once again with the actually countering Kuzu's play of the shorty. He has a shorty of his own this round.
Yeah, Spooter, he knows it happened. It destroyed them last time around. Let's see if he can destroy Fear Eater. Give them a taste of their own medicine. But since that 0 point was used very early on for both of these teams, they're able to slow each other down. And Liang will be holding very close up here. Dawin does get spotted by his Aldon, but there will only be 2 ticks there. Woohoo, Ploy running away for his life. Spectre is pushing up, 60 HP left. Got the not the Aldon, the alarm bot out already. But this is just their eco round. They're just saving all their abilities, just falling out one by one. Kuzu getting a nice frag. Ploy hears every single step of Fear Eater running to this B side, and he sees all of them as well after falling away. So it's looking like Fear Eater will just be running them down one by one.
One enemy remaining.
This is just the power of running and
Spike
Spectres, honestly.
planted.
1v5 for Scooter. Can he find anything?
Flawless.
Little
Gonna be
awkward
Daz
on-
who cleans out the round though.
Yeah, Spectre is not the best long-range weapon, but it still does the job against the Classic, that's for sure. But the buy round's up here, and this time Liberty is on the advantage. Let's see if they can finally take away this 2 round straight, because remember, in the first half, this is the same thing that happened. Fear Eater takes first, second round, but suddenly Liberty comes out with 5 of their own straight. Let's see if they can do the same for the second half on their defending side.
All 5 members of Fear Eater actually stacked up towards A. It looks like gonna be a A push for this round as Liang jump peeks towards mid. No information to be gained there so far. As the side of Fear Eater actually push up slowly towards
Cover going
this
out.
A choke point. Dark cover does come out to slow them down a little bit, but it looks like Kuzu is gonna be preparing for this push onto side. 0 point comes out to clear the post. What does Darwin actually finds one through the dark cover? Kuzu trades it out though with that Spectre. Liang good for 2 with his Phantom, but Kuzu once again to trade it out. It's a 2v3 situation for the side of Fear Eater.
Yeah, this is so good for Fear Eaters right now because they are on the bonus round and they still have their Phantom buy still alive to play
enemy
with here.
remaining.
Oh, never mind as that falls away. What a shot from Scooter as he reacts onto Kuzu from hell, but still will be the round for Liberty, only losing 2. So Fear the Eater will take that on their bonus, and they will still be able to buy up this next one. Kuzu does have the Blade Storm on the ready. He could opt and give his friend Sentinel rifle to play with, but he just has to be wary of the KO.
That is true. I do think this round is the round to win for both
Scanning
teams
ahead.
here, because by winning this round they will be able to stack up on their economy here.
They're suppressed.
0 point
KO's
does
here.
come out. Tags a few players on the way. They know that there are a few players towards the A side. But looks like it's gonna be a mid push by Dazzy here.
Ooh, Blade Storm playing a little bit of an enemy battle, but Daisy pops out and disrupts their battle, the Jet and Jet battle. Scooter will take him out, but with that, there's no more Blade Storm to play with. Sentinel actually getting Ploy out from the middle. So now, looking a little too bad for Liberty, especially since Daisy gets a frag onto Bonds. Not only 2 members left for Liberty, and Fear Eaters, they've got every single opening that they can find. Although the spike is on no man's land, they have to pick that up and get run all the way the marathon on
One
the B
enemy
side.
remaining.
But anyway, the rest of Liberty just trying to find the frags, but the long range battle isn't there. Fear Eaters shuts them down and make it look easy. Oh!
Oh,
Oh! Oh, well, you know, who needs the no
Okay.
command?
I mean, yeah. They still have the 0 point. I mean, who needs the knock one anyway?
Yeah, I mean, who needs that second life? It's not like you hit a recon bolt on the wall of this A side at all. No, it's fine. Everything's fine. Everything's nice and dory. 9-7 at the score. You got the advantage.
That's a good
You
spot.
can get it. You can get one more. Get some ultimate orbs, a few frags, get that no command back up. Get one Radiant suppressed. Wow, very aggressive from Liberty, but this is just their eco round. Let's see what they can do about it.
Food actually going for this repick through the smoke. Timing doesn't really favor him though, as he has to fall back. Kafka falls back, and as the spike is rotating towards the B side, it should be ploy to be able to hold down this site, this choke point here with his Bucky.
Ah, I want to see it. I want to see the Bucky frags come in, but I'm sure Fear Eaters won't just push up here by normal. They still have the Owl Drone to play with, so that Owl Drone should be the first one to enter this side. Ploy actually backs off, but he should have heard that rendezvous being placed down. Here you go, very quickly here. The smoke comes in, 0 point as well to track them out. Bucky's trying to hold out the angle. Sentinel has to be careful. He's getting pushed up, jumping.
Spike
Bucky
down,
takes him
B.
out. Kuzu does come out from the stairs. They do get some fruit frags into Fear Eater, but finally it takes away the bane of that Bucky. So now it's a 3 versus 4, and all three are somewhere on this side. Splitter is about to hold out this B main side, so now they should know that every single member of Fear Eaters are somewhere in the side.
Buddha actually finds the first ult to Dazzy, but gets traded out by Kuzu with that Vandal headshot. That way, what can you do with the Frenzy from this range? Then you upgraded the Sheriff. Liang actually jumping onto
enemy
Kafka, but I
remaining.
would do any damage as it's down to 1v2 situation for Bond here. He does have a Phantom to play with though.
One enemy
Able to find the
remaining.
first frag onto Kuzu. Can he find a second? Cleans up the round for the side of Liberty, and this is their this is the round they had to win. This is their eco round.
My babushka taught me not
What
to
a
brag.
round from
least I
Liberty.
make an
LB
exception.
Bond didn't even have to use that recon bolt despite it being on the cooldown. He just went for the frags and just surprised Kafka flying out of the air of that speedway with that shot and the Phantom as well. Looking like Spooter might be opting for this
Need a drop.
operator. This
Thanks.
is the defense, so you'd want to have the operator in play. This is something we weren't able to see much action out of in the first half, because in the first half it was Amber who was holding the operator, but usually he'd be on the B side or in the B main, pushing up very close. But Liberty never even touched that B side at all. He never usually on this. They love the A side.
Yeah, that is true. And Liberty actually have quite a few ultimates to play with this round. They have the Hunter's Fury, they have the Null Command, as well as Spooter and Darwin actually being one away from their own ultimates as well, the Blaze Storm and from the Shadows.
Yeah, gonna be another tech pause for the side of Liberty, so they've got to get their players back up here as soon as they fix up whatever problems happening on the computer or the connection. But soon enough, we will be back. Again, it's a back and forth game so far. 9-8 is on the scoreboard, still in favor of Fear Eaters, but the money situation is not looking good at all anymore, just for now. But it's kind of equal for both sides, although Bond does have 4,900 credits in the bank after saving that Phantom from that 50 round.
It's true. And there is an operator in the mix this round on Spooter. Emben looking like he's gonna pop his Twitter force to counter that. Looks like it's gonna be a battle of the operators down mid here.
Ooh, which one is the better gun? But looking like Amber will be spotting over on this A short, so Liang has got to be careful here because he's the man with the null command. He's the man with the potential for the after plant retake.
You want to
So
play?
let's see.
Let's play.
This is beautiful.
Null Command actually gets popped to shut Emben down. He's unable to peek that angle anymore.
Yep. He got 0 pointed out and immediately Liam pulls out the null command. Very early frags, very early abilities being used here on the side of Liberty. And now, Fear Eaters, they're going to be very happy on that. They're going to be starting to capitalize on that, pushing up to this B site where Ploy has used left his turret to hold on to the ground for him. The Nanoswarm is there to slow down the speed. Where comes Scooter with the operator!
Spike down.
Lines two people up. Amber does spot him right through and shoots through his teammates. Fortunately for him, there is no friendly fire in this game.
Hunter's Fury gets popped trying to die the plant, but this drags up Amber and able to find a frag.
Enemy kill.
2v3 situation for the side of Fear Eater right now. Kuzu and Amber, what can you do with guns?
no.
Amber still holding down with
Player
Operator. Able to
One
find the
enemy
first,
remaining.
but how do we find the second as Ploy actually punishes Amanon for whiffing his shot. Able to find Kuzu as well. Cleans up the round for Liberty, bringing it once again to a 9-9 tied up scoreline here. Ploy actually able to retrieve the operator as well, so it's pretty good for Liberty, I think.
Yeah, really good. Very good big
Alarm
bang
out.
situation as well. Fear Eaters, they're going to have to force up some sort of half buy. Actually, they're playing the force buy as well. Despite only a Spectre on Daisy, they got Kuzu on the Bladestorm, so they're going to be opting this force. They have to win this round if they want to keep their bank alive, because Liberty are feeling very good about themselves right now. Especially after taking that operator, that clutch from Ploy to hold out. They still have the lockdown for Ploy to use as well, although Liang doesn't have the long command no longer. Get out of my way, Spooter. Spooter's operator shut down by just the Bladestorm knife. Ploy trying to see if he can try and recuperate this operator from the middle side, but he's going to need some cover from Darwin with Dark Smoke. But Dark Smoke, one of them has already been used in the A side. It's going to be a very expensive one as they have to use it on this A short as well.
Yeah, it looks like the members of Fear are actually
Suppressing.
stacking towards his A side. Looks like it'll be an A hit as Kuzu dashes up onto the generator. With his blaze up, Liang actually good for 2.
down
Cutting down the
A.
push, good for 3
One
actually, and
enemy
Kuzu
remaining.
shuts him down. It's all up to Kuzu to be able to find
Cover
the
going
last 2
out.
remaining members of Liberty here. He has a he has the blade storm to work with. He has to retrieve the spike as well. There should be a few guns around for him to play with, but so far he's been unable to retrieve anything.
Alright, oh, there you go. Finally finds a Vandal in play. He doesn't have the Tailwind in ready. He needs to kill one before it pops that Tailwind. He does not
player
expect,
standing.
but he still gets the flick. There you go. Immediately turns on that Tailwind. And now
30
he can try and
seconds
play for the shot before Tailwind's away. There you go. Tries to reset that spray, playing that clock. And strafe as well. A 4K for Kuzu. This has to be the round where you gotta be feeling yourself. Getting that first frag, taking out the operator in the middle as well.
Yeah, that was a really important pick for them. The moment they got that operator out of the way, they were able to scale up towards mid and A as well. So really well played from Kuzu there.
Yeah, and right now that brings Liberty a heartbreaker round for them because they were winning their rounds, but they were losing way too many members. So now their bank is not looking good. They've got some shotguns. Not mentioning that one with the judge as well. A lot of 0 point does take Amber from the B side, but that's just the lurk anyway. So it's going to be the big man Darwin with this judge to find them. Bond actually gets the sheriff shot to Amber now. So with that, Fear Eaters are trying to push up here, and Kuzu gets the random shot in. Darwin falls. No more judge plays for him. Splitter trying to see what he can find with his blade, so unable to shore himself up. And now it's going to be the plan for Fear Eaters on this A side and a retake for Liberty.
Only for a situation where Liberty does have the lockdown and the down command to work with as the lockdown does get popped. What can you do with this Bucky as Kuzu takes 2 out? Captain finds the 3rd. It's all up to Bond in a 1v3 situation, unable to do anything as Sandil takes him out. Another round on the board for Fear Eaters, bringing it to an 11-9 scoreline. So looking really good for Fear Eaters right now.
Yeah, Liberty was not expecting 3 members to be hopping over that heaven side. Fear Eaters knows that they were on an equal round, so they just pushed all the way and try to shut them down, not giving away any sort of upgrade at all, really choking up Liberty down there. And now that gives them the 11th round on the board for Fear Eaters. Liberty needs to start getting their rounds up, especially after picking up the bye round here.
Yeah, this is the round that they have to win, otherwise it's just gonna give Fear Eaters the match point and they'll be 1 round away from winning the game. It looks like it's gonna be a mid push once again by Fear Eaters. 0 point does come out for a few players.
There's Scooter, he's falling out. Surprised with 3 HP after that fragment. Flash comes in as well. He needs one tap. That shotgun's gonna fish him off. There we go. That takes him away. Spooter unable to respond with his weapon. That one's there to give him some cover though. Speaking of cover, dark cover does pop up, so that opens up Fury Eater's entry onto this A side. And again, it's gonna be another retake situation for the side of Liberty. 3 versus 3 this time around. And Dawen and Kafka, they both have From the Shadows if they want to commit for range. But Rico Ball, beautiful. And Bond will be able to take Kafka out. Now they have to spot where this remaining member is, and that's Bond, who will spot Sentinel. He will fall, and there we go. This is what Liberty needs. Another round on the board, trying to not get choked up by that match point if Fury Eater ever won that round. So it's going to be very close up here for the second half.
Yeah, it's an 11-10 scoreline in favor of Fear Eaters. Bond actually, he's one away from that Hunter's Fury. If he's able to get maybe contest for an orb, he'll be able to possibly shut down the plant from Fury Eaters, or even use it in a close plant situation to cause some chaos.
Here.
Yes, that is true. They got null command as well. Again, on the ready for Neil as spotted. And still, From the Shadows ready on both sides. Daisy is one away for his own null command if he gets a frag or the ultimate orb to play with. But again, a lot of mid control for both of these teams. But the A side is being contested a bit by Fury Eaters. They left the spike in the middle, so they're still playing for whatever spot they can find. And that Bulldog's gonna take Bond's head right off. Poised there to maybe equalize the score here, equalize the man advantage, but he trades away so much of his HP at the same time. Liberty, Liang, and Spooner just out of nowhere from the short side. They're pushing the envelope, and they take both members out at the same time. 11-11 is the score, and guess what? Fury Eaters does not have the bank to play with.
It's looking really good for Liberty right now. They're one away from match point, especially since Fury Eaters is on the eco round. Let's talk about that mid play a little bit. Ploy was like drawing their attention towards him, and Spooter and Liang capitalized on that, able to find 2 frags. Ploy, a really good ploy from Ploy there, if I might say so myself.
Enemy suppressed.
Too easy for Ploy as he survives with that red HP and really just shut down Fury Eaters' attack there. And now it's going to be the half buy for Fury Eaters. Looking like they will be playing for the overtime unless they make some magic happen with the Sheriffs, get some shots in. So let's see if Liberty gives them the liberty to get shot by that Sheriff, but maybe not so much. Looking like they're playing safe anyway. Backed off. They do. This is their second default, I believe, where they leave the A side open, but they put a lot of presence on the A short because they are very confident on their retake.
Yeah, especially since they do have the null command to work with, but am I not actually able to find Ploy with that hit hunter? Oh, one down for the side of Liberty, but Spooter able to trade it out. Numbers advantage for the side of Liberty now, as Bond finds 2 more of his own, able to clean up the round onto Sandil. And that's match point for Liberty.
Match point.
Very easy hold for Bon there. Just had to hold out from the dark cover. They popped out 1 by 1 for him, so Bon will be able to easily shoot them down like a duck hunt. So now this is the round that Fury Eaters need to win if they want to push it to the overtime. The guns are open for both of these teams, and Liberty even has probably an Odin and they've got spare weapons on the sides, okay? They got an operator, they got an Odin and a judge probably somewhere along the road, but and the ultimates to play with. So it's gonna be very hard for Fury. Looking like they will be changing the pace and they will be playing fast.
The Nanosub comes out to start a push immediately though. So the side of Fury Eaters actually stalled out, but Kafka able to find 1. Ploy actually good for 2 from his position in logs, but traded out by Sendo. It's a 3v3 situation for both teams. Kafka actually good for 2 as Spooter tries to get this res up onto Liang here. It's a 2v2 situation once again, but Kuzu actually really low on health. Sendo pops at Hunter's Fury, but unable to find anything at all.
Yeah, it's a good enough slowdown, and Kuzu's Yang gets a nice flick in. Yang gets spotted. He's gonna try to get the wall back in. He's got 1 more recall ball to play with, but he's been suppressed by the 0 point. That flash might catch him, but he hides right behind the green box, and Liang still with the HP advantage, will be able to take him out, and that is GG. What a close second game we've got here, Grammy.
Yeah, I have to
Defenders
say, it
win.
was really, really close. Really well played from both teams, actually. Kudos to both of them.
Yep, just well played for both these teams. They've been back and forth and back and forth. And there you have it. In the end, though, it's still Liberty who comes out on top. So nice try for our Fear Eaters. And it will be Liberty who will be advancing to the semifinals. Probably tomorrow, the next day on days 2 and 3 for this updraft. But that will be the end for them. And before we take it away, how about some special thanks, Grammy?
Uh, yeah, sure. This event is co-organized by Cyberport, the go-to creative digital community with a cluster of technology and digital content tenants in Hong Kong. This event is also sponsored by Vertigear, the top gamer chair brand trusted by many esports teams, as well as Shop, where you can purchase app and game credits or vouchers online and choose from the most convenient payment methods. With Shop, you have instant and guaranteed delivery for you, and you can cash in on that your Valorant points to cop that RGX Firefly that you've been looking for.
Oh yeah, I'm loving that new RGX setup. But anyway, we'll be back after this break as we move on to the third game of our quarterfinals.
Hello and welcome back to KJC eSports Updraft. This is week 6 and game 3 of the quarterfinals here. My name is Grammy and here with me today is Gen. How are you feeling today, Gen?
Oh, I'm feeling great so far. Especially, I'd feel so much better if I had a vertigear chair as well. KGC Updraft. This is sponsored. Official gaming chair sponsor is Vertigear. Special thanks to them as well as Kill the Shop for the giveaway. Special thanks, of course, to our co-organizer Cyberport. We wouldn't be here without you guys. So anyway, it's already the middle of the first day. Third game coming up. We finished 2 games so far, and so far they've been neck and neck with each other.
Through just last game on Ascent, we saw Fear Esports versus Liberty. Liberty took it away with a 13-11 scoreline. Very well played by the Cambodian team there.
Yeah. So awesome sounds so far. Two teams have been advancing to semifinals. Two to go out of these best of ones on our quarterfinals. Coming up this next map, we are going to split this time around with outplay of starting on the defense and hyper on that offensive side. So we were pretty variety. There's a variety of maps being played out for week 6 here. Unlike other weeks where we've been getting a repetition of Bind or Haven, this time around we've got so much more to go. Although match 4 will be a very familiar map to play with. Let's go and check out on our split map. This is our outplay Uprising versus Hyper Esports.
Yeah, and immediately we see an Astra pick come out on the side of Outplay. A really interesting pick since, I mean, we all know that Astra has been nerfed recently. So to see her being played is still pretty interesting to me. She still has that stalling power, especially if you're on the defense, which Outplay Uprising will be starting on. So their side will have a lot of stalling power, especially with the Chamber and Psycho is actually also hovering the Sage.
Ooh, that is true, especially since they are starting on the defensive side, looking like they want to pick up as many rounds as they can to start off with. This is map split, so we usually can't see the Sova in play, not every day. So we do see a different initiator, someone who can flash in
Select
for
your
the team.
agent.
Looking like over on the outplay side, we got Savvy hovering over that KO, but on the other side here for Hyper Esports, no initiator whatsoever. They will be playing on the double sentinel lineup despite starting on this attacker side.
Yeah, they do have the double duelist lineup as well with Slayer on Jet and Bootleman actually on the race.
Yes, very interesting setup composition for Hyper Esports. Zero initiating power or initiators at all, but they do have Butuman. Just nice flights with that blast pack will be enough to try and get in that side along with the tailwind from Slayer. They have some lurk control as well with the Cypher. But of course, over on the outplay side, I just absolutely love Chamber because of his trademark. Although, and actually, he still has both trademarks, 2 trademarks. Although I did hear a bit of a rumor that he will get nerfed down to only one.
Honestly, I'm still on the fence about that choice actually. Is to nerf his trademark is to kind of nerf his sentinel power, the slowing power for him. So yeah, I still think my personal preference would be for the cooldown maybe on that rendezvous to be changed.
Ooh, that could be a thing as well. Although the rendezvous is pretty instant. At the same time, it is the little bit of pretty much a banter from both agents. The Jet Dash or the Chamber Rendezvous. Of course, the Tailwind for Jet has been a little bit nerfed out, making it a lot difficult, a lot harder to try and get an instant dash out because you have to prep it this time around, and you've got 12 seconds to either use it or it just expires right off the bat. So, despite Hyper Esports, they do have the Jet in play. Outplay only with the Rays to play with. They don't have anything to shut down this Jet if ever that Tailwind does pop over, because usually you see a Cypher to try and counter off the Tailwind because the pretty much the leash from the Cypher Tripwire will pretty much shut down Jet's Tailwind.
Yeah, that is true, but they do have both an actually an Astra, Chamber, Sage, and Raze to stall any pushes that may be coming their way here. Psycho actually already taking a little bit of damage there.
That is true, but you know, these things happen, and they will be starting out. They're gonna get the heal off. You know, it's gonna be on cooldown, but who needs a heal in the pistol round, right? But anyway, this is very classic for Split. We usually see the Raze comboed up, paired up with a Sage or an Astra, and for Outplay side, they got both to try and pop that paint shell next to a slow or the gravity well. So looking forward to those kinds of strats. Although they do have a KO, so that's a potential flash for Outplay Uprising, but it's gonna be a very awkward one because usually you see the flash paired with the dash, the tailwind. But this time it's just gonna be the blast back, so you need a lot of air control once you're in the air as the Raze because you have to look at the right positioning. So it's gonna be awkward if there's a flash right in front of you.
That is true, I think we're gonna see what they'll be able to do here. I do think on this defensive side, that 0 point on KO is actually gonna be very useful in shutting down fast pushes, fast rushes, anything that the side of Hyper Esports might have to offer if they're looking to go super hyper aggressive actually with the double duelist setup with the Jet and the Raze pick.
Yeah, looking like Outplay going for the quick wall on this A side, but it doesn't matter because it's going to be the peak push for Hyper Esports. Netflix just popping all the way out, setting up his stars. Now wasn't ready, but this time around he's got it. But he's not have the frenzy on the ready because he had to play for his ability. Because of that, Hyper Esports just ran him down. KJC was there to give him some cover. Unfortunately, he falls away as well. Sana all though does get one, and now down to 50 HP, does not have the heal for his Sage. He's got 20 seconds on the cooldown for that, so now looking like it's going to be the retake situation. It's going to be a very difficult one for Outplay.
The retake does commence though. And actually, Slayer actually able to find the first pick onto Cycle by side and trades it out. Simple actually finds through with the classic. Naruto making it a 1v1 situation. Xavi actually has still has full health actually. Naruto playing around his pillar here.
Huh?
Gets the right click dink onto Savvy and
Gun here.
Hyper Esports take the pistol round.
My mind is blown. I thought Savvy almost had that there because Naruto was not sure. He was making some steps, but he was a bit scared that Savi might be sticking onto that defuse. But still, Savi was looking the wrong way, and Naruto was able to just get behind him and jump around with the classic. Again, like you said earlier, are we gonna see another nerf on that classic, or is it still gonna be so strong with the jumping?
A really strong fight this time of Hyper Esports there with 3 rifles invested, but they get taken out by Kuya. Yeah, Kuya with the headhunter.
Yep, Kuya Yaoi with the headhunter popping out with a rendezvous as well. He's got one more shot in the bullet bank there. Although we got Sanal, he is pushing all the way back. They got control. Hyper Esports has control of the A tower, but the rest of OE, they're just waiting around, hoping to see what Hyper Esports want to do with this, because again, Hyper Esports, as you've mentioned, they've opted for 3 rifles to play here.
We actually finds one more with the headhunter before Duros actually finds 2, making it a 2v2 situation. But Duros actually really low on health right now.
Yeah. So it's just going to be the eco, the pistols versus the rifles. Looking very good for Hyper Esports. They just have to hold down their gun. They got a Cypher Cam as well, watching the angles. Where are these 2 players going to be coming from? Dairos does have the red HP, but that Cypher Cam will spot Netflix. Netflix has to get this out.
One enemy
Very
remaining.
aggressive paint shell. Netflix just runs down Dairos, and with the Phantom, he keeps running around, and he will be able to win them the Thrifty.
Thrifty.
I'm big. Try harder now.
I don't know what just happened. Hyper Esports actually invested 3 rifles into that, and they didn't even get the round off.
BYB fam. Going to
It
Astro to
looked
do
good.
them
They had the
Astro Guardian
positioning
things I do.
a little aggressive, but because of that, Nate just, again, the right-click classic. running around with it, getting the red HP down, and the Phantom as well. That's another thing to take note. Running Phantom close up, still very accurate here in Valorant, right? They're gonna get 3 free weapon upgrades on their buy round. Nateflix getting a nice jump peek here, so they're gonna spot a lot of the members on this B side as well as the steps. So now Hyper Esports, they're trying to slow them down, get their herb, and see what else they can do here.
Netflix actually finds one through the his smoke there.
Whoa! The
Slayer
timing!
goes in close with the shorty, able to find Netflix, but Kuya Yawi trades it out.
Flash.
Great timing from Kuya. Yawi's not
Spike
done as
down,
he gets
B.
more. The brimstone smoke is there. Butoman trying to see if he can try a straight shot with the chef.
Player
Kuya Yawi
standing.
does not want any of it. He's out of bullets. He passes away. Red HP left anyway, so they're just going to have to clean them up. They will be cleaning them up very shortly soon. Here. Sana all just playing with the blast pack, hoping to see if he can find him. They're not sure how far Butoman is running away here. 47 left on the clock. Spikes down. He should be falling very soon here. Slayer, that was a very clean tailwind coming up from Slayer. He was counting the bullets of Netflix with that Vandal. He knew that Netflix had to start reloading, and that was the exact same time he tailwind in
30
with the
seconds
shorty.
left.
What a smart play coming out from them, but still, it will still be outplay coming out on top as they have the gun advantage.
Yeah, and as Sana all actually cleans up the round onto his counter by Butoman there. It's gonna be a 2-1 scoreline favoring the side of Outplay Uprising.
Yeah,
First rifle round
Sana
coming in
all.
though.
Yep, you've said it. This is the rifle round coming out. It's a very late rifle round, but because of that random thrifty earlier on. But let's see whether these two teams do come up on top. Hyper Esports, we still have Butoman yet to wake up from the nap here. Once this guy should turn up here, it will be a lot easier to enter up these sides. But look at the positioning from Outplay Esports. 3 members about to peek into the middle side where the rest of Hyper Esports are actually holding.
Psycho and Savvy actually find two players, Landiros and Naruto traded out. Nero Theft comes out to reveal the remaining members' location on the side of Outplay Esports. They've been spotted now. 2v3 situation for the side of Hyper Esports. What can they do from this mid position here?
Yeah, Psycho's got a very interesting angle here that he's holding. It's pretty much Naruto and Dairos left alone on a 2 versus 3. They're slowly creeping up, about to creep up onto that awkward angle that Psycho has set up here. So this is going to be very strong for them. A little bit of
One
distraction from the
enemy
other side as well.
remaining.
There we go. Dairos is not
Spike
expecting
down,
it.
mid.
Psycho gets one
the
easy
spike.
frag in. Now he can hop up over that wall just in case if he wants to. Got a slow orb about to dunk it here as well. And that's going to catch Naruto off guard. Actually, that's right through, but Psycho spots the weapon. It's going to be an easy frag, 4K as well to start.
It was a good flash from Savvy right there. Able to catch around 4 or 5 of the players of Hyper Esports off guard with that flash, and the Nebula from Netflix actually helped as well. The moment that Nebula dissipated, the flash was popped and 4 players got caught off guard, and Outplay Esports actually able to find 2 frags from that.
Yep, very nicely done. And now it's going to be a half buy coming out from Hyper Esports. See what they can do. Again, it's going to be another beat push. And Netflix have been doing this every single time. Make an interesting jumping. Actually, Butoman does not get the blast back in. And a beautiful plane shot with the slow and the fragment as well. This is what we've been talking about earlier. The combo of a Raze and a Sage to play with just shuts down the push, a rush rather, and that very quick round coming out, very flawless as well for Outplay. They will take that, they will build their bank, but this time around, Hyper Esports, hopefully they will be changing up their pace here because this will be their gun round. They've got the Orbital Strike and as well as a Blade Storm if they want to use it.
Yeah, but on the side of Outplay, they actually have 4 ultimates available with the Null Command if they choose to retake alongside that Showstopper.
Camera taken out.
Very interesting tag here by Psycho. Does wall up the A side and he's actually prepared to shoot on Cyber Cam just in case. Meanwhile, in the middle side, Hyper Esports finally takes control of it. Sabi does get one. That's catching down, but still they don't necessarily need him just yet. We do see Psycho with Resurrection on the ready, but the middle has been under control by Hyper Esports. The spike's still in no man's land, so they're still waiting to see whether they try and opt for this A site. They got stopped by that wall barrier orb, but the barrier orb should be expiring very soon.
Yeah, they're probably gonna wait for this barrier up to break before they push into sight.
And there you have it. It's going to be Kuya Yawi, the man actually with the knife out, walking past. He wants to get in a beautiful position to hold down this A side. This is a powerful side to hold on to. He knows Great Monk's been broken on the A tower side, and that actually signals Psycho to run over on the middle side, get a resurrection off before he flies away. Kuya Yawi's the man holding the ground. He spots Putumat's flying off. Kuya Yawi unable to take the bug away from the air. That was the man who actually takes him out. Beautiful orbital strike being used, but it's not enough. He was barely on the edge of the map to try and really take out that resurrection, but there you have it. It's going to be the plant, and it's going to be a retake for OE, although the Sana All was resurrected. He's got a resurrection, a showstopper to play.
Big shells come out, able to find one through the wall. Sana All able to find one through the wall onto Butomo. Psycho cleans up the second onto Slayer. It's now a 1v3 situation. Make that one none left standing for the side of Hyper Esports as Sana, Psycho, and Netflix clean them all up, taking the round once again to a 5-1 scoreline.
A beautiful take coming out from the team. Sana All, the resurrection was the right call. Getting Sana All up with the showstopper, it scared away enough for Hyper Esports to have to back out. They had to scatter around, and because of that scatter around, OE was able to capitalize and find a 1v1s. A beautiful conquest as well from the Underhell side. Naruto was unable to do anything.
Teleport's ready.
And once again, it's gonna be a thrifty round on the side of Hyper Esports.
Get out of my way!
This time they're not looking to go for a full rush though, as they know they will be stopped by so much utility on the side of Outplay. Looks like it's gonna be a mid-push this round.
I love it. I love it. I love it. They keep trying that Astra Nebulous splash strat every single time. Sana All looking for more as well. They know it's an eco round. They're pushing the envelope. Pushed up with Psycho as well. Psycho wants to find more frags so he can pull up that resurrection. But oh no! Here comes Showstopper. Only 4 HP though. And he will stay alive with it. Tyros does not have the weapon to shut him down, and they will stay alive. A very scary Showstopper being committed, but does not get any value out of it. Falls away as well. Tyros and Kajun left alone on a 2 versus 4 situation with only, they've got a Spectre and the Marshal to play with, and full shields as well. If they could just recuperate one of these weapons, maybe the middle weapon as well, maybe they could do something about it, because the HP is not looking well for the side of Outplay.
Yeah, that is true, but there are 2 players from on the side of Outplay Esports that towards this B7 position, ready for any push that comes through that.
Oh, are they? Ooh, they were thinking about it. They wanted to do a resurrection, but the time's not there. So they will just be upgrading them to Phantom. Either we save that rifle or they commit now. Wow.
They should actually good for
10
one.
seconds left.
Gravity Bell comes out.
I
Oh,
know
it's actually another.
Last player standing.
There's no time
Spike
left on
down
the clock
B.
as the spike falls down. Cajun actually are able to save that Phantom though.
Saved up a Phantom, although it wasn't really a requirement. It's still some damage onto Outplay because they Hyper Esports, that was just their eco round, so they will still be able to buy up anyway coming in this next round. Kajun, it could have happened, you know, if the resurrection happened and they tried to push up that B side, especially after Kajun gets a nice shot in to Sana All. Although that was a great slowdown coming out from Outplay. Still, because of that gravity well by Netflix, they were unable to push all the way in. And now, anyway, that's still Outplay's round, and it's going to be the gun round. Up this next one, 6-1 to score. Very quick tailwind here, and a very fast round here on this A side. Oh.
Go get him.
That's the side of Hyper Esports are actually pushing towards this A side. This Kuya Yawi actually able to find the first frag, but gets traded out by Brutal Man, who's actually really low on HP. They do have the resurrection to play with.
Jet's grounded.
Sana All good for 1 as well as finds Slayer.
Psycho finding another one as well. Sana All spots the tripwire.
One
Tyros
enemy
is playing
remaining.
against it, but Tyros gets dinked. And Sana All will be able to punish him out of that cycle. Playing with the walls, gonna be walking above here, and Kajun getting distracted by the blast pack. It's enough. And again, outplays Hyper Esports, and they win another gun round.
Thanks. It's gonna be a 7-1 scoreline here.
I love explosions.
What do you think Hyper Esports can do better to be able to win some rounds on the attacking half here? Especially since they are running the double duelist comp.
Yeah, so this is the double duelist composition. We got a Jet and a Raze in play here, but we haven't seen much of the flights from their Raze Butuman, and we do see Tailwinds being used, but Tailwind has been used very early on. So this is the difficulty when you do not have an initiator in play. That initiators give you the information, give you the flash openings, and because they don't have one, they have to opt for these dry peaks. And Outplay Esports, they've been capitalizing on it. Look at this positioning there. Yawi with a quick operator pick that takes Butuman out, and that's one of the duelists down. And when you lose one of your duelists from a double duelist composition, it makes it a lot harder. Catcher does have the resurrection to try to slow him down, but Yawi, a little aggressive. He's about to peek into the side of Slayer. The scope's not going to be fast enough. He will fall. He will get traded out with the resurrection on the use. Napetic is there to try and take out Slayer, who was trying to pick up that operator. Gets punished. It's Dyro's turn this time around, but Kajun, with his cross square placement, will finally take out Nateflix. That's the controller out. Simple. Savi here with the flash, but Butuman's already close up. So now it's a 2 versus 4 Hyper Esports. They're making that happen.
They get spun out by the strip fire
Last
from
player
Fleck,
standing.
Cajun able to find Sana all and all up to Psycho. He's good for 1 onto Cajun, but what can he do from his position?
3 bullets left, make that 2. Playing the first half, he makes it happen. Low HP left on the remaining members, Naruto and Dairos. They are backing away. This is still very winnable by Psycho because Psycho's healed up. He's got a barrier orb to work with as well, so you just have to be careful with his angles. I'm not sure if the hair was spotted there, but ooh, beautiful positioning by the hair. So he has to expect that someone might be on the heaven side. He's waiting. He's committing up to the half, maybe all the way. There we go. He spots the side. The sounds is there. The sound cue. Psycho of 4K. And with that half, he will have more than enough time to get the defuse happening. Psycho, what a clutch by Outplay.
What a clutch by Psycho there. It was a 1v4 situation from him, and the timeout is going to come out on the side for Hyper Esports. They have to be able to find a way to break through this the outplays defense. Yeah. With the Sage, the Astra, the Chamber, so much stalling power for them.
That is true. Remember, this is Outplay Uprising. They do have tournament experience, so it is being put up into work here as we see it now. 8-1 is on our scoreboard in favor to them, and guess what? They have every single ultimate on the ready. Ultimates here in Valorant just change the pace of the game whenever used very efficiently, especially Sana All with the showstopper as well, a very big stopper to try and shut down any sort of push or get a free frag off. And especially with Yawi with Tour de Force on the ready. He doesn't even have to use it at all just yet because he still has the operator to play with. They've got the bank to play with. So Outplay Esports, they got every single card on the ready. They could probably secure 2 more rounds before Hyper Esports can try and respond back.
That's true, and it looks like Hyper Esports are looking to force this round out, but Slayer and Cajun actually opting for rifles.
And it's going to be another default for Outplay Esports as we see Psycho again tapping the cyber cam, tapping the wall up. So they're always securing this A site while expecting the site to be held onto this B side because Nateflix has been doing a very good job holding them down. Gets a nice peek in. That thing will give the information and immediately walks a minute, goes for the spray down, gets 2, 3 down! With just a single spray down, 50 HP left on him. Just on one member, it's not all there to jump up. Now they know where the remaining member, Dairos, is left alone. Red HP, and he's just one tag in. The flash is there, he's running his life away. Outplay Esports, they are feeling themselves right now. Winning that eco round is such a big momentum starter for them. Speaking of momentum, they got 9 rounds straight. So it doesn't even matter at this point. Guess what? There's a very interesting buy coming up from Hyper Esports on Odin.
Odin on Jet is not something that you see very often because a Jet is the one that is the one who takes space immediately, and the Odin, the time it takes for you to get the Odin ready to be able to shoot is just not it for a Jet player. But Savvy actually good for 2 from his position up in rafters, good for 3 actually. Slayer, what can he do with this
player
Odin actually
standing.
as he dashes back to safety? Netflix able to find one more onto Gutoman. And he cleans up the round onto Slayer, unable to do anything at all. As once again,
Last round
Outplay
before the
Uprising
switch.
take the round. 10-1 scoreline. What a dominating show from the side of Outplay here.
Yeah, they are definitely outplaying Hyper Esports here. 10
I should play
full
some Astro
rounds.
Stars in this reality.
All the bank, all the ults, not yet even in the ready. They're probably just saving these ults now to secure a counter ult coming up from the attacking side of Hyper Esports. They're on a force buy right now. They are running on fumes here, trying to find whatever they can do. Slayer
Get
does
out of
have the
my
Blade
way.
Storm, but look at this aggression. Look at the read coming out from Outplay. They stack themselves on this A side.
Yeah, and on the side of Hyper, they know that there is gonna be someone peeking this, so they back away for a little bit, let the 0 point come out first. It looks like they're gonna play a bit of a default this round with a spike still left towards T-spawn.
Yeah, just holding out its way in the attacker's spawn and pretty much playing the default. Outplay Esports. They know they want to secure this first half. This is the last round of the first half. They're not giving anything away. They're not even pushing up like madmen. They are waiting for Hyper Esports to push it up because the pressure is not on them. The pressure is on Hyper Esports because this time is ticking and they spot Dyros as well, so they know there's probably one on the lurk. And look at this, immediately they back off and rotate onto this A side.
Hyper Esports actually looking to take this Ram's position here. Wall
30
comes
seconds
out, the
left.
Cycle is able to capitalize on it with this angle.
Oh!
Spike down A.
What a play coming out from both of these teams. Just showstoppers stopping both of them in their tracks. Ready to be left now. Hyper Esports. Beautiful matchup. Looking for more. Slayer does finally op him out. Here comes the
10
resurrection of
seconds
Psycho. So that gives him some information as well. Butoman is stuck here in the corner and Psycho will shut him down.
Last
There is the
player
elbow side,
standing.
but ooh, getting outgunned. The Bulldog versus the Phantom. It's now all down to Slayer. Slayer's got an operator against 4 of these members. He does get 1, but he will finally fall to the remaining members. And it's going to be 11-1 on the first half in favor of Outplay.
Blasphemous.
It's a really dominant showing from the side of Outplay here. They're just completely outplaying Hyper
Switching
Esports
sides.
on this defending half. I think it's also thanks to their composition here that they're able to capitalize on it so well with Sage's slow orbs, the Astra gravity wells, raise paint shells, and the chamber trademarks is just able to shut down any kind of push that the side of Hyper Esports might have.
Yeah. But don't forget, this is map split. On map split, there's a higher chance you'll win if you are on the defender's side because of how much, of how choked up the points are before you can enter any of the spaces in split. So Hyper Esports have got that going for them now that they're on the defending side. All they have to do is hold down their line just as Outplay did last time, and hopefully bring them down one by one. Wall up on the middle side, looking like they do not want to contest any of this mid control. Looking like it's gonna be the A side instead for them. Cypher is there on the hold with the camera. He's got a very interesting camera as well. He will spot them pushing up this A side just in case.
And it looks like Outplay actually backing away from this A position. Savvy actually gets tagged up a little bit.
They do have the spike closer to this B side, so they're just making a lot of noise on this A side. They're trying to bait up as much rotation as they can, and it's slowly working out. Slayer is already leaving Butoman left alone on this B side. If the timing is right, they could easily overrun Butoman and secure this B side on the side of Outplay. Let's see how Hyper Esports can get this read and adapt to the strat that is happening right now. Where did that knife go? Oh, there it is.
Outplay actually scale up onto side. It's Voodooman who's able to find the
30
first pick
seconds left.
with his
One
haste shouts.
enemy remaining.
Voodooman good for another as Slayer takes out
down
2 with
B.
the frenzy. Is all left. Kuya Yaoi, what can you do with a headhunter? Finds the first pick onto Diros. But it's a 1v4 situation. 34 HP on Kuya Yaoi with his 3 shots and his headhunter. Make that 1 left.
Yeah. 10 seconds left on the clock. Very
10
grim.
seconds left.
Gets blocked by the Cloudburst as well. Now what do you do? Here we go. Easily fragged off. What a hold coming out from the members here. The Pain Shell and the Frenzies. And even the Ghost from Butuman and Jet, the Slayer, just really held down their ground. Unable to respond was on the side of Outplay. They were unable to pull that wall up fast enough to try and securely pass through the little choke that they have created. Because remember, they used up stars. They tried to bait out the rotations onto this A side, so you won't have that much cover left, expecting that there's less firepower. But speaking of firepower, it's a raise you have to deal with.
Yeah, and it looks like it's gonna be a fast A hit for the side of Outplay Esports. With their classic Slayer actually good for one of the frenzy once again onto Kuya Yaoi on mid. It's a 4-man stack towards this ramp's position, and Naruto actually gets taken out by a classic stun, are able to find another with the upgraded Spectre onto Slayer.
Cage triggered.
It's now a 3v4 situation for the side of Hyper Esports. Cajun good for one of his Vandal, but unable to find anything else as Sanal takes him out.
Last player standing.
What is happening right now? This is just the eco round of Outplay, and they
Spike
what
planted.
a train of pistols. They just ran from the A side, and now they're on B. It's now all down to Dairos, left alone with the Spectre to play with the angles there. Pain Shell's gonna put him down to 76 HP as well. Only 2 shields left. That's not a lot to play with. Red HP is left for the remaining members of Outplay, although Psycho does finally heal himself back up. Dairos just needs a few taps into them, but the crossfire has been set up. Looking very grim, looking like it's still gonna be the round for Outplay.
Outplay clean up their round with... Actually, they pick up so
Match
much
point.
from their round. All they invested was just free guns. They invested classics in them. Look what they got. They got a Vandal, they got 2 Spectres, and they can reinvest into this round with the rifles as well.
Yeah. Again, we're seeing a deja vu. Pistol rounds won by Hyper Esports. Hyper Esports forces big guns like Vandals and Phantoms, and Outplay just takes it away from them. They keep winning these thrifties, and 12-2 now is on the scoreboard. Match point for Outplay Esports from here on out. Hyper Esports, all they have to do is force up every single round. And guess something that they were not expecting, an operator.
Oh, it actually finds out with the Bucky.
There you go.
Outplay
Here's the
actually
combo.
taking his B heaven position.
I love the way Outplay is playing and entering this site. Psycho playing a slow orb. Here comes the Pain Shell. Psycho pulls another slow orb. Here comes the Fragment.
Spike planted.
The amount of utility use, smart utility use that they are using here. They have yet to spot that Najun is actually spotting here with a Stinger. Not to mention does
enemy
get
remaining.
one. Psycho's getting a little bit distracted. Finally takes him out. It's now all down to Psycho. 1 versus 3. And the trade is there. We are still pushing it up here. 12-3 now, and Hyper Esports got free upgrades.
Spike defused.
Hyper Esports keeping the dream alive. Right now on the match point of Outplay, they are able to win this round with the guns that they had, and they got upgrades as well.
This is a nice spot.
I think Outplay just weren't expecting the operator on the side of Hyper Esports for the round. They thought they were going to be more of an eco-ish buy, but that operator just caught them off guard.
Yep, I absolutely agree. They know that it should have been a force bite, but they were not expecting a very aggressive operator very early on, a very confident operator, so to speak, because you want to have rifles at least to try and take them out one by one. So Outplay Esports, that was their force buy, and now they're opting here for another one. As we see Kuya Yaoi not even opting to buy anything at all, because he's got the headhunter, and he's got the headshots as well. He's been making it. Look at it happen. He's pushing up very close up here again. It's Nartos who's been holding this one out with an Ares, but Kuya Yaoi is able to sneak past him. So now he will be able to hold out here on this A side, while the rest of his team look for an opening somewhere else. Uh-oh.
The timing.
Ow.
Cajun tries to go for one of the judge, but gets picked off by Psycho. Dira was able to trade it out with on his position, and it's 4v4 situation. Zavi actually finds Slayer. This opens up the B side completely, as the spike makes its way towards the B side. It's a 4v2 situation.
4v2 situation, and the spike is looking for frags. Oh, there you go. He realizes it. Wait, I have the spike. I'm backing up. It's time to go to the B side and get the spike planted. Well, there's so much distraction happening on this
30
A side.
seconds left.
Yaoi took out their Brimstone Naruto. They thought it could still be an A side. They just don't know. They could not get a read
Spike
on where
planted.
Outplay is playing. There we go. Finally, the spike has been planted. Naruto is going to be the B side. They have yet to spot Sana All because Sana All just took out some tripwires as well. So they got to be wary of their flank, while the rest of Outplay Esports are taking their ground and holding for the post-plant position here on this B side.
Yes, I know. Actually rotating through vents from mid. And as both the defenders come in from this CT position,
Last player standing.
Brutalman tries to go for a judge play, but unable to find
Attackers
anything
win.
as Zavi and Netflix clean up the round, closing out the game. A 13-3, a dominant showing for the side of Outplay Uprising here.
That is true. 13-3, very dominant. Outplay Uprising. Well played to you guys. You showed us such amazing strats and plays on that map split. So looking forward to see them more on the next semifinals as well. But anyway, we got one more game to go for this quarterfinals. And with that, a beautiful round to end as well. Was an awkward forced up by as well, coming out from Outplay, but they still win their round. Slayer unable to hold his ground on that B tower. Because of that, it was Savi was able to push through and take him out. That was a key round and frag as well from that last one. Nice try though. It was a little bit, we almost saw a bit of a comeback happen. They had Naruto in their team member, right? You never know, they could have that arc, but still, it was still the round for Outplay, and well played for them. We'll see them on the semifinals. Watch out. We'll be right back after this break for this last best of one for the quarters of KJC Updraft Week 6.
After several hard-fought matches by our teams here today, 3 teams have made it to the semi-finals, and here we are back again to meet our 4th semi-finalist. This is KJC eSports Updraft Week 6, Game 4 of the quarterfinals. My name is Grammy, and here with me today is Gen. How are you feeling today, Gen?
Feeling my back's a little bit hurting, but guess what? If you had the vertigear chair, your back wouldn't be hurting at all for long hours of seating. Special thanks to our official gaming chair sponsor. If you're going to sit down the whole day anyway, might as well get yourself a comfy high-density foam ground coffee fiber with smooth soft glide casters. Comfort design. It's Vertigear. We're also having a giveaway sponsored by Coda Shop. Exclamation point giveaway for all of you who have been sticking around here until the end of the stream. There are 3 giveaways we are having. 5 people gets a chance for $20 worth of Valorant points, and 1 lucky winner will receive $100 worth of Valorant points. And again, a super, but that's not all, a big giveaway for all those in Singapore, Brunei, and so on. The one and only Vertigear gaming chair. Special thanks to our co-organizer Cyberport as well. This event would have been made possible without them. Hey, I'm not done. gg.kjcesports.com, our very own platform for all of you free agents out there looking for teams or orgs or ever full-on teams looking for a scrim. Register now. It's on beta at the moment, so do give us your suggestions on how we can improve the site and make life easier for you folks out there looking for pro and fun.
Yeah, and as we go into this 4th match, we've seen 3 matches of hard-fought three games of on Icebox, Ascent, and Split respectively, and now we're gonna be moving on to Haven, a very different map from the last 3 here. This time with 3 sites A, B, and C with those long angles and close corners. What do you think we'll see on this map here?
It is Haven, so defenders, as usual, will be stretched out thin. So we see a lot of sentinels in play on this map, or even just duelists, to be very aggressive on their attacking. It just depends on what composition, what kind of strategy you guys want to play out here. Again, this is the 4th match, and the last one of our quarterfinals. Best of 1 between Blitz Esports and Instalock X. Speaking of Instalock, already they've Instalocked their members on the agents here. Mixgallo on that. KJ, there's one of the sentinels that we like to see, we usually see on the map Haven. No chamber this time around. I'm surprised.
Yeah, but it does look like it's gonna be somewhat of a mirror composition, just with iCream on the Omen and Edward on the Astra. That's just the only difference that they have, the controllers. But other than that, they're running both teams are actually running a double initiate though, with both Sova and Breach.
Yep, you got it. So Sova is initiator, but we always call him one of those info gathering type of agents like Cypher and maybe in the future Fade. And then we got the Breach, of course. Instalock X not looking out as their team name is Instalock. Jamie's still there hovering over that Breach, but we'll be starting soon.
Choose
right
your
after 10
agent.
seconds. So Breach and the Jet, a very classic flash and dash combo used a lot in the Korean games. I mean, they started it pretty much from the Korean games. So we might see a lot of those here in Haven, especially since there's an Astra on the Blitz Esports side. They're starting on the attacking side, so I'm expecting a very aggressive push on this A side. The usual fault line through that A long with the gravity well to cover it up to try and get an easy frag, unless of course it was a Jet holding the angle.
Yeah, that is true. But on this defending side, they have a lot of stalling power as well with the fault line, as you mentioned, they're able to slow pushes immediately, and as well as the paranoia on iCream, the Omen.
That is a spare flash to use. Although they are starting on the defending side, so we might see some aggression coming out for our good old villain here on the defending side, Instalock. So Operator, of course, very, very potent weapon as well on Haven. Very important as well to pick up these picks because Haven is very scattered, very big map. Lots of corners to check, lots of angles, and 3 sites to hold as a defender. We see Blitz here already. Looking like they will be running the default here, but as mentioned before, it looks like it will be the A strat, the classic A push coming out from this team.
Yeah, but there are 3 players on the side of Instalock X waiting for this push. Willen actually makes his way towards this off angle here. I don't know if he's being spotted though. Flash does come out. Villain actually good for one onto Sora. One with the Sheriff already. Immediately they fall back. They do have the numbers advantage now. Looking towards this short position. As the members
Got the
of
spike.
Blitz eSports fall back. Picking up the spike. Looking towards another side to push maybe.
Yeah, very classic default. Push up the A side, run back, hopefully find a pick, but they were unable to find one. Now it's going to be the B side take. Instead, here comes the Astro Nebulas, and the stars come out, and the Aftershock as well to slow down the push. This should be the plant, very easy plant, and going to be a post-plant situation for our Blitz side. Let's see what Instalock has to do here to try and answer back, because Villain is starting to flank around with the Sheriff.
Unfortunately, unable to connect the shots onto Jensen there.
Still dancing around the corners. And there you
One
have
enemy
it.
remaining.
Here comes a very easy post-plant situation for Blitz eSports. Jason and Jansen still alive. Very Jason and Jansen. I love their names. So Blitz eSports, the Sentinels, and the Sova will stay alive. It's going to be the first round on the board, and it's going to be Spectres all across as well. Instalock looking like that it was a great gamble that they started on that A side. Unfortunately, they were shut down as soon as that B push started to come in.
Yeah, especially since Villain actually had a Sheriff. It's I would say it's a bit less effective in those close corners of the B side as well. Immediately, Fall Line comes out. Sora pushing out. Gravity well comes out to catch anyone off, but it's Joseph who actually falls back.
Speaking of pushes, look at the other side. Instalock over to the C side. It's Jansen holding the corner, but he's only got a Sheriff to play with. And because of that, he will only get one frag out. It's the upgrade for Instalock, but it's just a pistol upgrade. So Blitz eSports, they're pretty happy. Only giving away a Sheriff. Spectre is still alive, and the angle for Jason, if they do not check this, is going to be free frag here. Villain does pass by. Jason pops out. Here comes the backup as well, coming up from their Astra Edward, and they're looking for more. It's just the Sheriff left on for Jamie. Jamie falls across, and now it's all down to Joseph. But again, it's the A-side control for Blitz, and because they got the breach, very easy to hold down this choke point coming out from their defending spawn.
And look at the discipline, and not even pushing out to get him. And now she's the one to clean up the round onto Joseph. Only one gun lost, and it's a Sheriff. So overall, I think a really good round coming out from the side of Blitz eSports there. They have the economy going into this next round. Jensen actually gonna pick up this Vandal upgrade.
Right here.
But on the side of Instalock X, they are gonna look to buy up as well. 5 rifles on the team with 4 Vandals and Mix Gallo with a Phantom.
Yeah, there you have it.
Knock
They've
him
got
down,
full
Breach.
utilities as well. All the abilities on the ready. Jamie looking to play the quick dash here on this A side push. Maybe a recon ball as well. Villain's ready to tailwind away just in case. Recon ball's there, but there's no one here, and they hear every single step coming up on the C side instead. Paranoia is there, slows them down, but the flash, the counter flashes as well. But the gravity well taking Jamie down, left alone. This Mixgalo. Sora does finally take him out, but Jamie comes out at the right timing, tries to trade him away. Jamie getting sprayed through the dark smoke. He will fall, and Jansen will take out Ice Cream as well. It's all down to Villain and Joseph now. This was their big buy round, but unfortunately for them, Blitz was able to blitz through that C side. And a bad timing for Instalock. So far, Instalock has been creating these strats, right? They're pushing the C side, no one's there. They're pushing the A side, no one's there. Unfortunate for them on these gambles, because this is Haven. There's going to be so many gambles as a defender, hoping that you find where the attackers are going to be pushing up.
Yeah, that is true. And the remaining 2 members of the side of Instalock X are actually gonna look to save their weapons and the shields this round. As the side of Blitz go hunting.
Blitz, this is their bonus round. They've got the money to play with, so hunting won't hurt their economy one bit. But although they will be sticking around close out to each other just in case, they don't want to give away and excuse too many of their abilities. And the shields, not to mention, to rebuy. So now Instalock, they saved up 2 rifles, but it will still be the eco round coming out for them. Because they saved the rifles, the money's gonna be very awkward coming in here. If Instalock doesn't capitalize here on their 2 gun rounds, it's gonna be very awkward coming out in the upcoming rounds, because the economy is not equal right now.
Yeah, with Villain and Joseph on the Vandals, but the rest of them with Stingers and Sheriffs.
Flash out.
Only a Flash comes out on this window position. Blitz are looking to push this issue here.
Ooh.
Villain actually finds Edward pushed
Right
up
here.
from short. Able to get the first frag. 5v4 situation in the favor of Instalock as they have the numbers advantage now.
Al Jones popping out for Blitz. They spot Joseph. Joseph gets tagged out, so now he has to back away. Only gets tagged twice, though. It's not a 3-time tag anymore. Very big nerf for Sova mains out there. But anyway, now they know there's at least 2 members here on this A side. Not to mention a Breach close by from the A link since he's the one who started off with a 4th line. But still, Blitz eSports playing the mind games, trying to see if maybe Instalock will try to rotate out to a different site. But again, it's an Omen and a Killjoy holding the other side, so they will have a fun time. They'll be okay holding out from their information. Here comes the flash. Joseph holding the angle, but Sora crouches right behind him, unable to get the headshot in, so Sora will get 2 as well as Jamie falls. But then now left with just a stinger, and Jansen is the one who takes it from behind. So now only iCream and Mixkello left,
Spike
and this is
planted.
what we were scared of. If they lose their 2 rifles, it's going to be
Last
on for
player
the next
standing.
rounds.
Yeah, and Sora cleans up the round with 2 headshots onto both iCream and Mixgello. Very good, really good round from Blitz right there. Although they did get picked off first, but they were able to convert it over once again. I think this is like deja vu. We've seen this once already on the first round, I believe, the pistol round.
And here we go, 4 win streak for the side of Blitz, so that means it's a 4 lose streak for Instalock. Instalock are running on that lose bonus, so they will still be able to buy up their full shields and Vandals to play with it as well. Look at Blitz, looking to see if they can try and make a quick push here on this C side. They know A is where a lot of the members are usually here. Here comes a very quick Rolling Thunder, that clears up the C side as well, and Sora will just be holding down his ground here. Ooh, look at the positioning from Instalock, but Sora is the one holding the angle, but he's vulnerable from his own team. iCream gets the trade-off, but a counter trade is there by Anash, and now they have yet to still make this spike plant happen.
Maybe flashes
down,
out,
C.
finding a Nashi, but Edward trades it out onto Villain. Rolling Thunder comes out from Jamie to push. The attack is back, and our drone comes out to get some information here. Now both members of Blitz eSports are in this C-long position with the spike down on the side. Actually, they have to be able to retrieve it.
On my way.
No stars left for Edward. There's no utility that will come out from this Astra. Jamie is waiting for his fault. His fault line is already on the ready. That's the recon ball as well being used. Here comes the fault line. They're just slowing them down, waiting for anything to happen because that spike's down. They have to come to them with only 30 seconds left. Jansen gets a nice peek. Now he knows Jamie is very close up.
30 seconds
There's a
left.
turret holding down the angle. Though
One
from the
enemy
gravity
remaining.
well, finally a cooldown from the stars. Jamie though is the man who takes Jansen out. There will not be any peekers.
One
behind him.
enemy
Coming to the
remaining.
side. He will be able to collapse onto Jamie, but will he find Joseph? Joseph is prepared on the angle. Edward had to watch way too many. That's going to be the first round for Instalock.
1 round on the board, and hopefully many more to come here. But they did lose many members in the process of the previous round. So coming into the next round, they have to go on a bit of a force fight here with only 4 members able to buy up Vandal's Villain.
Alarm bot out.
Probably he'll be opting to contest for this orb here on A long.
That is true. Ultimates are starting up on the ready here, but although Instalock did win that
Placing
round,
alarm
they
bot.
lose their lose bonus. And now it's going to be very awkward here. Villain, as you mentioned, needs to get that orb. The orb will be taken for free. And that's a Blade Storm on the ready. This time around, we won't see a KO in play, though. But here comes the Aldrone. Ooh, Villain has to avoid this. He doesn't want to use his Blade Storm to take it out, but the Aldrone does not
Right here.
tag him anyway. But the dash has been used up here, so Villain will not have a tailwind to use this time around.
Looks like Blitz eSports are actually gonna go for a rotate as the spike makes its way towards mid.
Initiated.
Jensen actually uses his lockdown to get actually try and get this B side, but it gets broken by breaches.
Shock dart.
Jamie's aftershock here. Joseph actually finds one with the shock darts onto Sora.
Ooh, unfortunate for them. They weren't ready for the... They didn't know Breach still had the Aftershock on the ready. They didn't account it for. Whenever you put the Killjoy lockdown there, it's very big knockdown. But a simple aftershock is enough to take it out.
30
And with
seconds
that,
left.
actually set up on the A side, on the side of Instalock. They've rotated enough members, and still,
Too late.
they are still securing the site despite the man disadvantage on this B side. Here comes the 100 Spear as well, slowing down this spike plant. And as she gets tagged, woohoo, almost gets one more down, but with that, it will be very hard to get this plant down because they are going to start converging
enemy
across him.
remaining.
There's a recon ball as well, and the shot comes in. Insta-lock, recuperating, getting another one on the round.
Really good round coming in from the side of Instalog here. They made it a flawless round. No guns lost this round. They'll be able to buy up full U to full shields for the next round. And on the side of Blitz eSports, they still have money to buy up this round. So we're gonna be looking at another full buy rifle round coming in the next round.
Yep, there you have it. And Nash, they do have enough to buy an operator if they do opt for it. But looking like it will just be a simple one for Blitz here. Looking
Right
like it's going to
there.
be a very close up in the middle
Right
side
there.
where actually Jamie and Villain will be holding out here. This is going to be very interesting. But of course, the flashpoint should come out for Blitz eSports, so that should give them some information. There we go. There's a flash and there's the shot.
Spike down mid.
The shots come through. It is Blitz eSports who is going to come up on top with the numbers advantage. Spike is going to get planted down on this B site
Spike
by
planted.
Anashi here with
Last
Rolling Thunder
player
at already.
standing.
Edward finds one eye cream with the phantom headshot. And Anashi cleans up the round onto Joseph, bringing Blitz eSports their 5th round on the board. 2-5 is the scoreline in favor of Blitz eSports here.
Yeah, that's the name of their team, Blitz eSports. A quick push despite fighting off the gamble from Instalock. 3 members of Instalock were on the way there, but because they have the breach, they've got the flashpoint to work with. They were very much easily able to shut down the hold that Instalock had on the B side. Very easy push for them. And that's another round for them. They destroyed the momentum that Instalock has been getting. But Villain this time around has an operator to play with.
Villain's gonna
There
be
they are.
looking to peek this A shot position, but no one is there. Rolling Thunder gonna be invested towards this B site. Sora gonna try to get a plant down. Counter Rolling Thunder comes out to try and deny the plant, and the members of Blitz have to fall back here.
And fall back they do, and they're resetting. They have to reset. Both ultimates, both Rolling Thunders have been used to commit on this B site. And now it's another spread out. 2-1-1-1-1-1-1 for all sides. And now they have to wonder where Blitz will want to go. 1 minute left on the clock. Looking like they will be opting a bit closer onto the C side. But they've got to be wary because Killjoy is the one holding out there. They still have the lockdown to use on Instalock's side. Although I believe the Aftershock have yet to be used on the side of Blitz anyway.
Yeah, it's looking like it's gonna be a C hit with the stars coming out on this B side. Call line comes through. Jamie gets stunned up, and Sora able to find the pick onto Jamie, opening up the site for them. It's a
Spike
4v5
planted.
situation in post plant for the side of Instalock.
And Jason, the man who was trying to see what kind of flank he can make, does get shut down. He got the lockdown and recon immediately. And Nash just takes him out. The recon bolt is there to scan him out, but the Cosmic Divide is able to save him out. But from the side of the the garage, they do peek up here. And now it's going to be a 3 versus 3 setup here against the post-plant situation coming out from Blitz here. Let's see what Instalock can do, because Blitz are just tapping them out one by one. No cover whatsoever can they use out of their abilities, especially as Edward comes out of the garage as well, just to secure that round. It's going to be another round for Blitz, and it's going to be the eco for Instalock this next one. A timeout will be used up here. Very much needed timeout, because that was a very crazy, messy round.
Yeah, looking at the scoreline, it seems like Blitz is getting away with this. It started out pretty equalized, but Blitz have been winning round after round, and it is a 6-2 scoreline right now. So Instalock have to find a way to be able to stop this stop the spike itself from going down, or at least be able to retake the site. Be able to retake the site and get the defuse on to be able to secure rounds.
Yes, That is true. And now with Instalock, gonna have to be opting for just a half buy to play with. We do see Joseph with a Marshall. So let's see what kind of damage they can find. This is gonna be a heartbreaker round for Instalock. In fact, Instalock doesn't even need this round. After this round is the rounds that they need. But if they can do some sort of damage to try and break the economy of Blitz, even just a little, despite the bank that's been built up on the Blitz side, it would be a win for them in their book. Just because it was just their eco or half
Placing
buy
alarm
round.
bot.
Yeah, and it looks like Instalog is gonna be opting for a few sheriffs, a frenzy on villain actually. Looking to push the issue towards this garage position here, where Jansen will be watching.
Blaze Storm even committed very early on for a blitz. Eye Cream, the rest of Instalock is actually holding out here in the garage side. They're going to be spotted by the skill noise though. That's 3 bullets being used. Jansen does get 1, but immediately traded up by Mixkalo. Perfect timing. Exactly what Instalock wants. And now it's going to be the A plant, and it's going to be the retake situation for Instalock.
Yeah, Sora does get tagged up by
Deploying drone.
Jose's Marshall there. Half HP left on him. Our drone comes out, but Anashi able to take Joseph out with that aftershock. Finds another onto
Last
villain
player standing.
as Jason gets a pick onto I3. Mix the glow clean with that sheriff shots. Able to find 3 this round, but unable to clean up, unable to win this gunfight against Jason as Jason takes him out, bringing the scoreline to a 7-2 in the favor of Blitz eSports.
Yeah, that was a nice try. That was a good round for Instalock, especially that last one where Mixkalo shoots someone from hell, immediate 180s around, takes out Sora as well. Well, very unfortunate for Instalock that Joseph had to fall out there. A bit of a miscommunication because Adnashi put out the aftershock and it was right on top of Joseph, but Joseph was on the Aldon. He was not expecting him to die to the aftershock because he was standing still. It was a sitting duck. But now this time around, Villain with this operator holding down this B site. But it looks like it's not going to be the peak for Blitz. Blitz looking to try and push up onto this A side.
Yeah, with Jansen once again holding his flank from Garage. 4 members stacked up towards the A side. Our drone gathering some information towards mid and B. No one is there though. 3 members of the side of Islog are towards A with Villain actually on this off angle on top of the crates.
Yep, as usual, it's pretty default by Blitz whenever they take out this A side. Just leaving Jansen on the lurk guard while the rest of the team try to push up on this A side. Edward and Joseph facing each other, looking for the tap in, but they will be backing off from each other. Edward's trying to set up these stars here. Here comes a recon bolt as well. Scans 2. Beautiful fault line. That will be the push up as well. Sora still wins in. Immediate, getting so much tag, so much value out of the Hunter Sphere as well. Sora will take advantage and capitalize over it. They just stepped on this A side.
Once again, it was their buy round, but Blitz are playing. The utility usage from Blitz is so good. The combinations from Anashi's fault line and Sora's dash and the tailwind and even Jason's Hunter's Fury, the tags that he gets is just Sora is just capitalizing on them so well that they will get the site pretty easily and secure this round in a flawless manner as well. There should be 8-2 scoreline for them now.
Yep, 8-2, and we might even see a 9-2 because the Instalock's money situation isn't good. Although they have full loss bonus after this one, they can still opt to force up whatever buy they can have, especially since they died very early on in that round. They should still have their abilities on the ready anyway, so they will be forcing up the issue here. 8-2, possibly 9-2 after this one, but let's see. Maybe we could see a Caster's Curse, but Eye Cream has been sitting on that from the shadows for a while now. I'm excited. I'm still waiting for when he will opt to use that.
Yeah, but it looks like Instalock are actually gonna look to force it up this round. Remember, if they aren't able to win this round, they'll have to go to save for the last round of the half.
Concussing.
Jamie with the fault line instantly slowing the push, but Sora in position. Tailwind at the ready, but unable to find a frag onto Villain as Villain dashes away.
Blocking sight.
Yeah, he's got the Guardian. One tap's all you need. He comes, try to push up, but getting dinked away.
down
The
A.
aim punch is there. He will fall. Jamie's there to give a trade, but Sora's there with counter trade. Joseph's now left alone with the Marshal, still waiting if A push will happen, but Blitz have already ran all the way to the seaside. The stars are up. Here comes the recon ball. Beautiful paranoia by IQ, but they are hiding inside his own dark cover. But Miskalo does pop out from the left side. Combine chimed in with IQ. IQ's doing some damage as well. He's expecting Sora to come from Bandit, but Sora takes him out anyway. A 1 versus 1 situation, and Sora only has 7 HP to play with. 50 seconds left on the clock. He's running away here. Joseph playing smart, waiting right in the middle wherever the spike plant will happen. All he needs is one tap anywhere. Hair onto Sora's ear here, and he will fall.
Does look like Sora is gonna push up into Jose.
30
though.
seconds left.
No. Oh no. Oh, what a timing for both of these players. Joseph had the angle. He was probably looking at the minimap, listening to the audio cue. He was not focused on his vision there. Sora was able to pass through, and with only 7 HP left, he just needs to tag him up. He has the angle, and he will be able to take Joseph out. What a heartbreaker of a round for Installa. 9-2 will still be the score. No caster's curse, and it looks like it's going to be a forced up by Installa. We even see a Bulldog in play by Villain. And look at Anashi. He's got the Rolling Thunder to play with. Looking like he's a potential 10-2 here.
Yeah, and actually with the Rolling Thunder and Sora being able to capitalize on it with the Tailwind and the Blade Storm potentially. I mean, they might look to take this B side here.
And the B side it is, as the Flashpoint classic situation where they do. Here it comes. It's Sora this time around who will be the man on the hole. So this is who you want to have trying to plant this spike when you're on the B side, because Sora can easily Tailwind out of there, looking like he will be trying to, but Jamie, the Aftershock and the Shock Dart actually damages him enough and takes him out. So now it's going to be the post-plant situation. At the same time, Edward is holding from the back here. He has Gravity Well to hold down this spike. Here it comes. Counter lockdowns as well from both of these teams. Defenders will get no players detained. The attackers still have it on. They have to back away here. Insta-lock, or else you're going to get locked down. There it goes. 2 players detained. Edward will easily get them one by one. He knows where Ikeem's going to be, but Ikeem actually gets him behind. And now it's just going to be a cleanup for Blitz eSports. 10-2 is our first half.
The lurk from Edwards was so good. He lurked all the way into C, into the defender's, towards the defender's spot, and able to find 3 players off guard, capitalizing on that. And his team just able to clean up the round after that. A very dominant showing once again from Blitz eSports here, as we head into the second pistol round. Sora opting to go for the Sheriff once again.
And very, very confident Sheriff. We've seen the Sheriff. We've seen a Sheriff play before. That was from Villain, but this time around it's Sora who will be playing it. So let's see if he can find his own one tap and give them a taste of their own medicine. Insta-lock, what can you do? 10-2 now, but you've got some breathing space to work with. Just 2 rounds to spare. But other than that, you get perfect rounds to try and shut this place down. Villain is the man holding out the angle. Sora gets scanned down. So he has the Sheriff advantage. Tailwind has been activated by Villain just in case, but Sora will tag his head right off with that Sheriff. You will not have any more reactions to try and Tailwind out of there. And now they're pushing up the envelope for Blitz eSports. They're pushing these with Jason on this A-long side.
Edwards already looked all the way from C-long, but what you do if from long range of a Frenzy, he does dig the head of Mix Gallo, but unable to find anything. It's a 3v3 situation. Both teams looking pretty equal as Jamie actually heading towards this A side. Jamie finds 1 onto Sora.
Yeah, Sora tried his best to try and stay alive there, maybe slow it down for as long as he can, but the plant's coming. And here comes the Aftershock. That slows down the plant. Here comes the flash as well. Jamie's looking a beautiful angle from the hell side. And with the crossfire, they will be able to shut them down. Insta-lock, winning their pistol round. So this is the round that you'd want to win at least, because these were equal rounds. Equal grounds means when you win it there, momentum will start building up. And now, with the force by Spectres across the board, what will Blitz do? Because a Marshal has been picked up by Sora. This is their defense, so maybe they could try and find and tickle down the HP of Insta-lock.
Yeah, that is true. Once you get hit by the martial body shot, that's 101 HP. You'll be left with 49, especially since you're on full shields on for the side of Instalock. Jamie actually gonna go for this jump peek here, but no information to be gathered. Fault line does come out to stun anyone that would peek, but nothing so far. Able to get the orb without much contest.
And there you have it. It's gonna be easy orb for Jamie. 3-way to get his lockdown. I mean, the Rolling Thunder ready already very early on. But looking like that Edward was able to sneak past and able to hide into C long here. So
Need
with
that
this
back.
information, he should be able to at least give his team an advance just in case Instalock starts running through here. Depends unless Jamie checks his corner here. He's still just dancing around, but oh, the timing! He actually reacts to Edward. They're at the corner of his eye. He flicks around and catches Edward off guard. Insane coming out from Jamie. Here comes the fault lines as well, trying to get the plant. They have beautiful recon ball. Spots two of the members of Blitz eSports here. They're trying to slow down the plant little by little. At last, takes Milan out, but Jamie and Joseph will save up here, will recuperate the rounds. All up to Sora now with his Marshall. Very nice
Spike
looking
planted.
Marshall, by the way. Oh no!
He dashed into them with the martial.
You know, you missed the shot. Let's just take my body. We don't need this round anyway.
Sure, they still have 6 more rounds to play with here. I
Very
mean, a lot of rounds to play with here, so they can afford to lose a few rounds here. And coming to the next round, we are gonna see an Odin coming out on the side of Blitz eSports on Anashi actually.
Here.
Maybe looking to go for this wallbang in A short.
Flash out.
Look at the positioning here. It's a very classic push coming out. Ooh, very aggressive by Sora. Gets a nice positioning for A side. That gives him the sound cues as well. He hears every step that is happening in this middle side, and he will be calling it for his team. He does have some backup by Jason just in case he needs a quick getaway AOP card, but since the sound cue is starting to happen on the C and the garage side, Jason will be opting to run back here, but looking like it will be Sora who will be holding the vanguard here. Instalock, they are playing the mind games and they are doubling back on this A side.
Sora's positioning here. Would they be able to check him? They do check him, but Sora able to find Jamie.
Down A.
Tailwind's away to safety here. And the fault line comes out to support Sora.
My double
Jensen
set.
actually able to find Mixablow, his counterpart here in this guy's position. Ikem unable to get the trade, and it's a 3v5 situation for the side of Instalock.
It's looking grim here for Instalock. It was an interesting strat there. Trying to push up on A side, but because they were held back, beautiful position from Blitz eSports, they will still
30
win
seconds
this
left.
duels. And now they do open up this B side, but they're not even planting for this B side. They're opting to run over on this A side, and Nash gets the feel for it. The Odin is here, but gets nothing out of it. iCream will shut him down with the Bulldog and gets his own upgrade on Joseph's side. So here we go. What can he do? Sora's there from the side. Unexpectedly gets pulled down by this
seconds
Odin. Edward is
Spike
there
planted.
from the A short this time around, so he's trying to see what he can find. Gets the
Last
recon ball
player
out.
standing.
At the same time, Jant is coming out from the back line, and that will be the round for Blitz eSports. They take away the momentum that Instalock was trying to build.
Yeah, a really important round for the side of Blitz eSports there. This basically means that if on the side of Instalock, they have to win this next round. If the economy is not looking really good. Actually, on the side of Blitz
1
eSports, it's
second,
not looking
peeps.
really good as well. They did win the round, but it cost them like 3 players and an Odin in the mix as well. So coming into this next round, Sora is gonna be looking to play with his Blade Storms.
Placing alarm bot.
Jason opting to go for Spectre, and the rest of them going for rifles.
They gotta be careful. Jamie has the Rolling Thunder on the ready very early on here, so if they commit this should be a free side to take, and then just a post plan to play with. They hear the Blade Storm now. They know a Blade Storm is being played here by Sora, so that's someone that they've got to be wary about. Make sure that he doesn't get any of these frags. This man has been fragging out like a bomb here on their side of Blitz. So Sora's the big frag here, looking for some information with his Blade Storm, jumping around. Jason's just holding back. They've got the recon bolts on the ready. It's gonna be off cooldown and looking like it's gonna be the Rolling Thunder for this A side.
Now, all 4 members versus A side though on the side of Blitz. Villain actually gonna clear out Jason here.
Scanning ahead.
No save actually finds another onto Sora. Ice Cream
One
cleans up.
enemy remaining.
Actually picks up 2 frags onto Anashi and Edward, and now it's just Jansen left in 1v5 situation. What can you do with this position here?
All 5 members of Instalock are still alive, and Rolling Thunder was not even needed to be committed. Blitz Esports just got run down by the usual strat that they've been trying to do every single time on their attacking side. This is the power of Haven, you know. Comebacks happen very frequently here because the attacking side is a huge advantage. If you were the defender, oh no. Positioning Mixcalo might just hear where Jansen might be holding out here. If he spots the angle, will Mixcalo get the timing right, or will Jansen just hold off? He's not even waiting. There we go. He checks his corner, but the corner is there. Oh, snipes out. He doesn't know that he's there, but still, he gets the frag in. What a crazy play between these two players. Mixcalo, unfortunately for him, the timing's not right. Jansen is the man who takes him.
Yeah, really well played by Instalock that they were able to get away with 4 rifles surviving and coming into the next round. They have the money, they have the gun advantage, and Blitz Esports. This is, in terms of economy, this is not looking really good for them. They have Jansen who saved that Vandal from the last round. They do have the Killjoy lockdown to work with if they
Placing alarm
also choose to go for a retake, but I do think that on this round they are gonna look for
Revealing area.
to have a more aggressive play. We do see Sora actually opting for this shorty play down and short, but gets spotted out by the recombo.
Yeah, Joseph only down at 60 HP. He got tagged down from the middle side. Here comes the Rolling Thunder. Gets all 3. Paranoia is beautiful as well. Villain and Aikim will be able to capitalize around it. It's all up to Edward and Jansen now. Jansen getting spotted by the Killjoy turret. They know the Vandal's right behind them. Goes for the spray down. Jansen's the one who wins it. The flashpoint is there, and the aftershock might be proved to be almost enough. He stay alive. He stays alive in the corner here. So now they know
One enemy remaining.
at least one of the members is here, and it looks like Edward will just be playing for the bait.
Looks like Edward opting to go for some exit frags here with a shorty. Jamie looking to push this shotgun here.
Careful there.
I think it's supposed to show they're able to find a hit tap onto Edward, and that's the shorty taken care of. Another round on the board for the side of Instalock. 6-11 is the scoreline. Still favoring Blitz Esports, but slowly but surely Instalock on this attacking side, they are coming back.
Yep, they're trying to play for the comeback story. 6-11, just 5 rounds to go to try and equalize things out. But now is the time to be wary because it's the gun round for Blitz, and Blitz just picked up the operator. If Sora can get these first blood frags for very aggressive pushes, it will prove to be detrimental to Instalock's composition to try and take any of these sites.
And immediately the fall line comes out. Sora going for this aggressive peek down a short here. But members of Instalock are heading towards Garage and C. So they're looking to play it a little slower this round. Spamming through the wall to find some frags. Villain actually gets tagged down.
A dink by Jansen, not to mention, gets tagged away. Ooh, he gets the tag, but there's a box that he will be able to hide behind him, so Jansen won't be able to take him out just yet. Spots the foot, goes for the spray, but Villain has to be careful here. Here comes the dark cover, so Villain will be able to walk out of there finally. 50 seconds left on the clock. They have to start committing to a site now, and looking like they want to try this A site where Sora is holding a beautiful angle. He doesn't have the tailwind to work with because it's already been expired, but they walk into his angle! But Sora does not connect on the shot. Here comes the cover by the Nebula, but he's been fault lined down. Dinked as well, 36 HP. He will stay alive though. And 30 seconds left on the clock. This has to be the commitment. They have to hold now
30 seconds
because
left.
A-site will be pushed.
They went onto side by Villain here, able to take out Sora, but gets straight out by Anashi. Anashi with this aftershock to delay the push, and Killjoy lockdown does come out from the defending side. 15 seconds left on the clock. What can you do now from your
10
position?
seconds
They have
left.
to take this fight. They have to take this. They have to advance onto side. But as the members of Instalock get detained by the lockdown,
Last player standing. One enemy remaining.
it's actually Blitz who capitalize on it. They're able to find 2.
Match point.
Instalock is able to find 2 frags, but aren't able to do anything else because they just got stopped by that Killjoy lockdown. They spent way too much time trying to clear out trying to play the default, and by the time the Killjoy lockdown came out, there just wasn't enough time for them to get the plant down, get the safety, and play the post plant as well. And
Yeah,
it's match point for the side of Blitz Esports here.
it's gonna be another heartbreaker for Instalock. They had everything that they needed to do, but the defender,
Flash
that
out.
Killjoy lockdown just shut down the push, and there was no time left. As soon as they heard the lockdown being pulled out, it was like, well, guys, that's the end of this round. And with that, they do win the round, but very nice to note that Instalock was able to take out 4 members of Blitz by the end of that round, despite winning on the side of Blitz. So they will be opting on a very awkward buy, half shields, light shields, and even a judge to play with onto Edward's side. But Edward's going to be comfortable holding that down on the C long side.
Yeah, and Sora is really pushed up on this A long position. This off angle here with Jason actually watching any
Get out of my way!
possible A push that the side of Instalock might make, but it looks like it's gonna be a garage push with the Owl Drone coming out to gather some information. Follow up coming from behind. Edward ready for the judge, though able to find Jamie.
Spike down.
Villain misses his Blaze Storm and gets punished for it by Jensen. Item way to find one, but it's Jason with the Hunter Fury, Anashi
Defenders
and
win.
Edward able to clean up the round. And
And that's
really
it.
well played round by Blitz Esports there.
Yep. They heard them. They know the book. They've learned. They've adapted to what Instalock has been doing to them for the first initial 5 rounds, and with that, it ends them, bites them back as Instalock, as Blitz, rather, was able to adapt against Instalock's strat. Instalock taking too much time playing the default, hoping Blitz goes by their name and tries to push up and make any sort of aggressive push. Unfortunately for them, it's them who had to push them. They waited for them. They're the defenders. They are playing that time. And with that time pressuring them out, Instalock just unable to recuperate from the round. It was a nice try. We almost saw a comeback happen from the start of the second half, but 6-13 will be the final score in favor of Blitz Esports. Blitz will be advancing to the semifinals.
Yeah, and Sora actually really taking the initiative. He got 6 first bloods that game, and he's really taking the initiative to find those off angles to catch the members of Instalock off guard to be able to win the rounds for his team.
Yeah, and towards the end, this was the 4th game of the best of one of our quarterfinals. I'm feeling a little uncomfortable with my chair. Grammy, do you have any sort of suggestions for gaming chairs?
Yeah, I do actually. This tournament is sponsored by Vertigear, which I'm gonna recommend. It's the gaming chair that I'm gonna recommend to you right now. It's the top gamer chair brand trusted by many esports teams, and you can just sit in this chair really comfortably for long hours without any back pain. It's a really comfortable chair for home, office, and gaming. You can get yours now at vertigear.com. That's VERTAGEAR.com.
And thank you all so much for sticking out until the end of this round. We are having a giveaway for all of you still around, exclamation point giveaway sponsored by Coda Shop. There are 3 giveaways we are having. 520 US dollars and 1 lucky 100 US dollars, and of course a grand giveaway of a Vertigear gaming chair. Not to mention special thanks to our co-organizer Cyberport as well. This event wouldn't have been made possible without them. Cyberport is a creative digital community with a cluster of technology and digital content tenants. One last thing, check out KJC Esports on our socials. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Discord, our very own website. Speaking of website, gg.kjcesports.com, our very own platform for all you free agents out there looking for teams or orgs, or even full teams looking for a scrim. Register now. It's on beta, so we're looking for some suggestions. If you guys have any for us to improve the site and make life easier for you folks out there looking for pro and fun. This has been day 1 of our quarterfinals. I am Gen, and I've been shoutcasting here alongside Grammys. Looking forward for the future on the semifinals and the grand finals. We'll see you guys then. Have a great night.